So happy Eris is back.
We are yours.
Okay. There we go. Jesus. This is like pulling teeth over here, dude.
Between light and dark is so very
Okay.
Let's cross it together.
Let's get our link out and about.
Hello, old friend.
Okay. Copy the link.
I'm afraid.
The Traveler just did a Death Star. I gotta get my links out real quick. Apologies.
Oh my god, was?
We just gotta go. It's been at least 5 minutes since I sent the link there. Okay.
Thanks
We're about
for
to
tuning
start.
in, y'all.
Holy
Like
shit.
many of you, I've been playing games as long as I can remember. They're a core part of what makes me who
Oh,
I
hey,
am.
it's Joe.
I believe there's this
I don't know how
deeply
I feel
rooted,
about that mustache,
often
Joe.
unstated mission of games to keep
We gotta
adventurers
talk about
alive.
that.
In 2014, Bungie set out to start a new adventure. Heroes awakened on a desolate planet.
Let's keep that open.
A silent god set in our sky. And it wouldn't be long before an ancient enemy, shrouded in darkness, showed up at humanity's door to destroy us. Over the years, our heroes would shape a story far greater than anything we could have imagined. Players would explore deep into the depths of Venus, hunting a machine god that controlled time itself. They'd invent ways to combine their mythic weaponry and their paracausal abilities to stand alone against monsters that took others an entire elite squad. They'd race alongside their friends
Oh my
far
God.
into the early morning into
Bruh.
the halls of an ancient city where only a select few emerged victorious at dawn, clutching the heart of a dragon.
A space
Most
dragon.
importantly, they'd bring their friends and their family into this world and together meet new faces on this
I was like, what is
adventure
this? I don't remember
and
that.
become lifelong companions. Now, together, we approach the final shape.
For
We're
real,
about
Joe,
to
we gotta
embark
talk about that
on
mustache.
the last expedition of Destiny's first saga. So let's be clear about the stakes. In the final shape, you will go inside the Traveler. The journey will be difficult. And what awaits you on the other side of this trek is nothing less than the deadliest entity we have ever faced. There will be no open betas. There aren't going to be any guides on the internet telling you how to handle what's to come. Whether you've been with us from the beginning, joined us somewhere along the road, or are looking at Destiny for the first time, anybody who shows up on launch day is going to be greeted with this same uncharted world. A vacuum-sealed experience begging for you to be the first person to peel it open. So today is your invitation to go forth and adventure.
Okay, so we're back in the Cosmodrome. That's us. That's the beginning. The beginning.
After all these years, we never talked about it. Why I brought you back.
Yeah, why did you? Oh my god, that's the old tower.
Why you were chosen.
Oh my god. Why are we going back in the Vault of Glass?
The truth is, I didn't know then. It was just a feeling. But I know now. After all we've seen,
What the shit?
all we've lost. This fight might be our last. So I'm asking you one last time to rise.
What the fuck is this? Oh my god. An axe? The fuck we got an axe for, dawg? Let's turn that up.
This is a momentous time in Destiny history. We've been building to this moment for the last 10 years.
The final shape is the conclusion to that journey. This is a moment in gaming that as a developer you just don't get very often.
Guardians and allies are fighting the biggest threat that the universe has ever seen in this big culmination of the Light and Darkness saga.
When we were thinking of what the final shape could be, it had to be a lot of different things. It needs to pay off this epic confrontation with the Witness that we've been setting up for years. It has to bring you closer to your allies in the Vanguard. It has to be this place that like makes you feel nostalgic for the entire journey you've been on.
When we were resurrected by ghosts at the very beginning of this story, we didn't know why, but it was for this. The Traveler is asking us for help, and it's our responsibility to protect every living thing in the universe from what the Witness intends to do.
Which is end all life.
When we first start the final shape, we are finally able to go through the portal that the Witness opened in the Traveler at the end of Lightfall.
Inside
shoes.
is the Pale Heart of the Traveler. That is the stage for our showdown with the Witness.
The Witness has the darkness. It has always had a connection to it. The Pale Heart of the Traveler is what it's trying to use to gain connection to the light. So with both, it can enact its final shape.
The Witness looks around and sees a lack of purpose, no meaning. It wants to fix all that. So it's trying to put the universe into this frozen perfection where everything's just exactly how it thinks it's supposed to be. That is the final shape.
If we're going to defeat the Witness, it's going to take everyone. Failure is not an option.
We're gonna need the Vanguard, all of our allies, and all the Guardians to rally together and be brave in the face of oblivion.
In the final shape, we're going to answer questions at the grandest scale. But what I find really interesting is that it's also a very personal journey where we deepen our relationships with these characters that we've known for so long. Zavala, Ikora, our
Which one of them is
Get
alive?
to reconnect with Cade 6. So, like,
Well, I guess they don't
while
have
there's
the
this
glowy
great
stuff.
conflict and everything going on around us and stakes of just unimaginable heights, it's still at the end a story told around campfires by a bunch of companions who have been fighting together for hundreds of years.
I don't think Ikora is dead. Zavala might be. I like the fact that we're going back to the old
shape,
fucking
we're going
tower.
through the portal
Bro!
that the Witness has opened up.
That's
to
exciting.
confront it and stop the final shape.
This dude is skinny as hell.
Inside the Traveler is
Need a
this
sandwich, dog?
infinite, vast, unknowable. And we're landing on the Pale Heart, which is a fraction of really what is inside the Traveler.
The Pale Heart is weird.
I like this
It's
music.
a little strange. It makes you feel a bit uncomfortable.
This
And
Tree
it
of
is
Silver
also
Wings from
just
IO.
so cool and artistic in the best way.
Oh boy, we got a lot of the pyramid
The Witness
MC
entered
Escher
well ahead of any Guardians,
architecture.
and so it's had time to kind of shape what's there. When our Guardian enters, the rest of the Pale Heart starts getting shaped also around what we've experienced.
This is the Traveler recreating the world in front of you as it saw on your journey.
One of the most memorable locales from Destiny's past is the D1 Tower. It's really a labor of love from the Destiny
God.
team.
The
The Final
nostalgia.
Shape means so much to everyone who's building it, and I
Going
think
back to
players
the
are really
tower,
going to
dog.
be able to see that.
I wonder if the
Pale
speaker
Heart
will be
is
there.
Our very first linear destination that we've ever done. I would love it if players felt that they began their journey in a place of safety and feel it escalate in danger, in surrealness, because there is this beautiful evolution of the space.
They see
I like all
things
those
that are
hands.
more and more wrong as they begin to go towards the Witness's monolith. It's kind of this omnipresent, foreboding thing off in the distance.
The weirdest things happen as you get closer
vaguely
to the
reminiscent of the Witness
monolith
itself.
in the form of reshaping. Kind of like deconstructing things and putting them back together just wrong.
The sense of scale you get out there, like as you're exploring these spaces and you're jumping on these reshaped cuboids of Earth, you feel tiny as a Guardian. You feel alone. You feel like you are not the force to be reckoned with that you have been. You're not the God Slayer right now. You're just this little person jumping from these massive pieces to massive pieces.
One of the things that we really tried to also capture is that the Witness keeps throwing everything it has at you. And so you're going to fight these new enemies, the Subjugators.
Subjugators are the new unit you're going to be facing in the final shape. They
So
have
it's
an
mini
enhanced
Rolk?
power set. They're performing stasis powers and strand powers to face the
Strand
Guardian.
Rolk?
Well,
How does
in
he have
support of
strand?
all the other enemies
We
you're
discovered
fighting
that
too.
shit.
They bring something entirely new to the battlefield, which is kind of this element of control.
They're back there pinging away with stasis abilities, throwing crystals at you, freezing you in place, tangling you up.
They do look kind of cool though, but
We're
a
focusing
big part
you
of it is
on
the role.
the campaign and only the campaign. It's the most important thing in the universe at that moment. You have to stop the final shape from happening.
And for that, we do need the help with our allies. And so we're going to make sure that the core Vanguard team gets back together. Zavala and Ikora and Cade.
I'm really
The
excited.
campaign is just
for
the
their
start of
reunion.
the Pale Heart. After you've reached the monolith and finished the campaign, we open up the entire destination, and so the entire Pale Heart is going to react to you and what you are doing.
Mm-hmm.
The campaign in the final shape doesn't really end with the final mission. The raids are where you defeat like the big bosses.
Raids?
So it's only natural that when
She
you
said
are going
raids,
to confront
plural.
the Witness, you're going to do that in the raid. But that might not be enough. This is a moment where we need to rally all Guardians to be able to overcome the final shape and the Witness.
In the final shape, we are inside the
There he
Traveler,
is. There's sound effect guy.
very close to this energy. This allows us to have new supers, Arc, Solar, Void.
We want to create
Can
something
we
that turns you into an
please
offensive powerhouse,
get a new
but
stasis
also
super dog?
can benefit your allies in a support capacity. There is this thread of team play and like working with your friends to overcome the odds. The Warlock Super is this ultimate expression of solar energy coursing through your Guardian. This Solar Warlock Super is a callback to Radiance from D1.
Other than Golden Gun, this is the
Excuse
only
me?
other first-person super in Destiny right now. Your melee's like all of these projectiles going off, doubling the amount of projectiles. Your grenade almost being sentient as it searches around, and then it hits a character and bounces off and goes to another one. And you're so overflowing with this energy that you are also giving it to your allies, allowing them to have their solar weapons supercharged, applying Scorch when they're shooting.
The new Solar Warlock aspect, when I cast my Rift, it is going to create this little solar soul that when
Oh my
it
God,
sees an
Solar
enemy,
Buddy!
It launches part of itself out and hits the enemy and explodes and scorches them.
It just feels very alive.
Solar Buddy! Sweet.
Twilight
We got one for
Arsenal.
We got one for
It's
every
a
subclass.
Layered super.
This is the only ranged one-off offensive super for Titans in the game. The Titan jumps up into the air, summons this giant void axe, throws it, summons another one, throws it, summons another one, looks at a different group of enemies, throws it. And when these axes fly through the air, they stick into the ground or an enemy, do their void gravity thing where they suck a bunch of energy and enemies in and then explode. But that doesn't destroy the axe. The axe sticks around, and you and your allies can go and pick up that axe and start wailing on enemies with it.
This super
Okay,
is
that's
insane
really
to me.
cool.
The Void Titan aspect, I press and hold my grenade button to consume my grenade and turn it into the shield. The more damage it takes, the more it charges up, and then I can release that, and it creates this blast that deals massive damage.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
The Hunter Arc super.
Arc is all about finding the shortest distance between 2 points. The hunter kind of rears back, takes this knife, and throws it across the world, and then is able to blink to its position, do the slash that just decimates
Big
anyone
Naruto
nearby.
energy.
One really great thing about that
Fourth
is not
Hokage.
just you do it once, but you're able to do it 3 times, along with devastating attacks each time you do it.
Okay, that's
the hunter has an
actually
aspect.
kind of cool.
We take our staff, we twirl it in the air, which propels us upward. It creates this burst, which amplifies you and any allies near you.
It almost makes it feel like you're playing a fighting game, right? Like these combos
No,
that you're
it doesn't.
chaining together to do these different moves. It like takes that,
Okay,
that
okay,
sandbox to
fair.
the next level.
The fact
The
that you
more
can
aspects we
chain
have, the
that,
more
that's pretty cool.
capable we are to do that.
It feels like you're like riding the lightning, you know?
I
Like
wonder
that
if that's like an air
instantaneous,
dodge
like,
thing.
That was good, but I think it's more like, you know?
I like it. I like it.
Oh my god. They're leaning into that really hard. But for real, can we get some stasis
Weapons
love?
team has been working
please?
on all sorts of goodness. We've got exotics, we've got legendaries, we've got perks. We're always cooking
What
up
we
stuff.
got?
We're
What we
always
got?
playing
What
with
we
stuff
got?
that we think is like
Ayo,
really
Chris
interesting
Proctor.
or taking
Okay.
inspiration. We have Tessellation, which is this exotic pyramid
fuck?
fusion rifle. It has the really intriguing property of adapting your Guardian's current damage type.
This will be the first time that you can run a weapon that can adapt to be strand or stasis in the energy slot. So you'll be able to run an entirely strand
What?
or entirely stasis loadout. Tessellation has the additional property that you can
Is that a
special
fusion rifle?
reload to reshape your grenade and suck it into the weapon, and then fire out a super destructive single projectile. It's a really special weapon.
What's the one
That's kinda
specific
neat.
exotic that I can
Not
make
gonna
that's
lie.
like really zany that you would like right now?
What if Golden Gun was a sniper rifle?
What if you could harness
Excuse me?
the might of the Traveler? You know, we had a moment where we saw that Traveler beam cutscene. I know people on Weapons went, I kind of want that. You're like, that is incredibly dope.
So we've got this opportunity to bring back these iconic Destiny 1 weapons, but really
Dragon's
turn it into
Breath.
something that feels unique. in
Hey,
Destiny
yo.
2.
We have to bring Kvotstov into the fold.
The Red Death exotic pulse rifle.
And Dragon's Breath, burn the
Bro.
world, burn it all. In the final shape, we have new weapon subfamilies
Okay,
coming,
this is
broadening
exciting.
what existing weapons can be.
Really like bordering on exotic functionality. So for example, we've got a rocket pistol sidearm subfamily. We always
Excuse me?
liked the special ammo sidearms. This fires tiny, slow-moving rockets. They hit very hard, do a bit of AoE damage. They have a mixture of regular weapon and rocket launcher stats. We're also doing a new support weapon
The
subfamily.
hell?
The support frame auto rifle is a type of legendary auto rifle. It'll let you switch seamlessly from firing at enemies to healing your allies. I'm really excited to bring it to dungeons and keep my team alive, honestly.
The weapons team is always coming up with new ideas. We've got a ton of new cool stuff coming over the next few
Okay.
years, and some new and really
So now we
wild
can heal
ideas,
people
which we're
with
pretty excited about.
an auto rifle, which sounds kind of cracked.
Take a load off.
Potentially.
We've got a lot to cover.
Oh.
This place is only big enough for one dashing hero type, and that's me, so. I'm back! Hey, you two, give me a sec. I was magnificent.
You were, Cade. You really
This is
were.
great. Anyone want a hug? Get your rock off my map. Worst case scenario, you die. But who knows? Maybe you won't. right to it.
In this moment where we're driving to the end of the Light and Darkness saga, it's great to see Cade like return to this world at this moment with all this change about to culminate with this confrontation with the long-standing enemy, the Witness.
Cade is the quintessential hunter. His presence casts such a long shadow over
It
the
does.
story of Destiny.
It really does.
Whether it was when he was alive or when he was dead.
What Cade goes through in this journey, how he serves as a catalyst for the other characters, the events that are uncovered to have brought him back. This is how the story had to end. There was no end to the Light and Darkness saga that didn't have Cade here alongside his friends to finish the job.
Once we started digging into the nature of the Pale Heart, I think that crystallized Cade's role as a guide. Cade is Virgil, and he's our guide through this other place. Cade is the one who is the most appropriate person to be the guide, because that's his job. That's always been his job. It just feels so natural for Nathan to be back in the booth. It felt amazing to just see him slip back into the role, like, without missing a beat.
Right, instantly.
In the
That's
flesh,
because Cade
or metal, as it were.
Cade's the glue that's always held
Nathan
Zavala
Fillion.
and Ikora together. Having him back puts them in a position of questioning where they've been and what they've done without him.
You think about the journey that Zavala's been on and how he's been taken down this dark
Man,
path.
yeah,
and you
man,
think about
Zavala's
the
been-
weight that's been on Ikora, having to hold the
He's been
Vanguard together,
taken
having
a
Cade's
lot.
voice of levity and brightness that he brings to that group. I think is going to be great for them.
Well, at least we have each other.
We want people to take away that sense of reunion and that idea of like the gang being back together for this moment.
I'm here now. Wherever the hell here is.
I noticed that Sundance isn't there though. And I haven't seen Segura.
Guardian, the Witness poses a dire threat. And the Witch Queen holds the answers we seek.
I do not like Eris saying
If we
Ayat.
contend with her sister, Zivu Araf. It rests with me. Will you come back from this? Do not be afraid.
I don't like that at all.
Bring me your tithes.
You
I
now wield hive magic and have
don't.
entwined it with your light. Assault the Spire, Guardian, and open the way to our tithes.
I don't like that at all.
Let them
Okay, that's
know
cool though.
fear. The death of whispers, and they do whisper. Fight in my name, Guardian. Every opponent you defeat strengthens me.
Eris is gonna become.
My appetite rises for your brutal tributes.
I don't like this at all.
Let us show her what it is to be Hive. You have found the horn of battle. You are deserving of the greatest death I can bestow.
Season of the Witch. I don't like that at all.
The Season of the Witch is our opportunity as players. We've been annihilating and breaking Hive spells, and now we finally get to cast them.
At the end of season
I don't
of the
like
Deep,
this.
we learn that Savathun has the key to getting
I'm really
into the
excited, you
portal
can't
that
tell.
we need to go into. That
But-
means we have to go find Imaru, her ghost. Imaru's like, not so fast. We've got a bigger problem first, and that bigger problem's name is Zivu Araf. If we fight her, she only gets stronger. Eris has an idea. It's a really
good
It's a wild ass
This is
idea.
a terrible idea. Are you
She
kidding me?
determines, like, well, the best way to fight fire is with fire. We are channeling all of that energy that we're creating by going through, by eliminating enemies, and we're tithing to our friend Eris.
Bring me your tithes.
What does that mean for the characters and the player to kind of like be?
I don't like the idea of
Savathûn?
Eris.
And that's where we went down the path of having Hive Eris. We want to extend that
Becoming
magical
a
fantasy
hive.
into the player then. That ability to have overwhelming magical power, that risk and reward into all of our activities and systems experiences. And so that's what led
This
us
is
to
a
come up with things
wild
like Deck
decision.
of Whispers. It's this magical deck of cards that creates amazing synergies with your buildcraft meta and with buffs and the activities.
They can then choose these cards at will, whichever ones they want, and then that really leans into the build crafting.
You actually are getting cards that you can then use to place on the battlefield and change the way you play.
I'm such a sucker for deck building. Like, being able to, like, bring
my
that
God.
element into Destiny
I would not have
gameplay has just
expected
been like, oh,
this
just
ever.
it's really fun.
This is wild.
So we've got 2 brand new seasonal activities coming with Season of the Witch. We've got Altars of Summoning and Savathûn's Spire.
Savathûn's Spire is our new 3-player offensive. You're doing a lot more with the Lucent Hive magic, but it's got a high amount of combatant density. It's got additional random encounters that you can come across.
The Witch's Spire itself, Savathûn's Spire, was like her reliquary for all these different magical experiments.
So
as
this
she
is
was
like our
learning
deep
the light.
dive.
You're there in order to learn as much as you can in order to become a master spellcaster, right? To become like Savathûn. The Altar of Summonings activity is really exciting because you can spend like 20 minutes in it or you can spend 2 hours in it.
It's a 3-player experience that you can hop in and hop out of. As you're going through this activity, you're filling the tithing bucket. As that tithing bucket is filled up, you'll get progressively more rewards. And then finally at the end, it'll cash out and you'll get a whole mess of rewards.
We really wanted to make sure that there was a home for any exotic mission content coming in seasons after the year has passed. And so we developed what we're calling the Exotic Mission Rotator.
Right away, we're getting Presage, Vox Obscura, and Operation Seraph Shield.
This is some of the most fun content the team has making. It's some of the content the fans and players of Destiny.
More
are the
coming in
the most
2024,
exciting thing, outside of just
which
the missions
sounds like
themselves,
they're going to bring back
is that
Harbinger.
Every time we put a mission inside of that rotator, the exotic that comes alongside of it will become craftable.
So wait, that means that we would be able to craft.
With Season of the Witch, we have a brand new Vex lo-fi PvP map coming. It's really exciting.
We
It's
would
got a
be able
bunch
to
of
craft
really tight
Whisper.
gameplay experiences. We wanted to make sure that we focus the combat a
This
little
is
bit
definitely
more. With
Crota,
new
'cause I
Vex
saw the
network
Fang
map,
of Ear
we
U
really wanted to make
in
sure
that
we hit.
menu,
It's like, hey, you're shoulder to shoulder
which
more
is
often. There's not as
a,
much
a
deep sight
Crota's
lines that you're
and
interacting with, and a lot of the flow
a
of the
D1
map
weapon.
is actually built around this like kind of central pillar of the Vex network that you're orienting around.
We gonna go
And
back
there's
to
also
that,
some modes
dog.
coming too, right? We've got a new PvP game mode coming that's all about relics. It's about multiple relics, so it's not
The relic
just
game
one,
mode actually
like the sports
sounds kinda
game
cool.
mode from the past. So we've got the shield coming from Vault of Glass. We've got the spear back from Season of the Risen.
And we got the scythe from Season of the Haunted.
Yeah, so you're going to be reaping Guardians with that thing. It's a lot more tactical gameplay. It's all about running around the map, claiming these relic dispensers, and then grabbing them in order to push for victory.
I will take what I need. The words in my throat are the weapon in my fist.
We were feeling pretty Hivey this season. Obviously, there's something in the air.
Obviously.
And so when thinking about like what's a good raid reprisal that would really suit this very Hivey
Yo,
season,
Crota!
there's only one answer.
Let's go, bitch. Yeah.
I have seen what the Hive call a god.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Nostalgia. Is that Necrochasm? Looks like that's gonna be a real encounter this time. Yeah. a dope ring, I'm not gonna lie.
Heading into the final shape, we really want to rally all Guardians at the end of the Light and Darkness saga. We want to reduce those power barriers, as well as catch people up on key story beats and make sure that they have a really great and easy time connecting with other players. In the final shape, we're trying to find ways to make power more simple and easy to understand, and also lowering the barrier to entry.
It's going to make it easier for players who have not been able to jump into game easily because they were held back by the challenges in grinding for the power levels that are required by these different activities.
One of the major changes that's going to be happening starting with the final shape is there are going to be a certain number of activities that are going to be power fixed. So it doesn't matter kind of what power level you are going into it, you're always going to be able to approach it. There's still going to be tiers of difficulty that you can do, things that are just meant to be experienced a certain way.
Things like Nightfall strikes that will still have power enabled, and that's where we're really going to focus the whole power climb.
The raids, the contest modes that everybody loves to engage with, that experience is fundamentally going to be staying the same.
I'm excited for this because I think there will be a lot more clarity for players in terms of understanding the relative difficulty of things, where they sit now in the spectrum.
One way that we're trying to do that is making it easier for new players to engage with you. So we're introducing something that we're calling Fire Team Power.
You can actually bring your friends along to play any dungeons and raids in the game without having to wait them to be at a certain power level. The person with the highest power in your fire team is actually going to bring all the others close to their power level, which means that there's no barriers really for any other Guardian to join you in this high-level content.
When it's combined with Fire Team Finder, it also allows you to find strangers, people you've never played with before, and have that same experience. That's all regardless of the power level of you and the rest of the people in your fire team.
Fire Team Finder is the new feature that's coming in Season 23, aimed at helping connect and find other people to complete the best and most aspirational content in Destiny. We have a tag system that allows players to be able to say, well, this is my playstyle. I'm really chill. I'm anti-sweat. I'm just really here to have a good time. Exactly.
Tags really allows players to show a little bit more personality, show a little bit more about what they're about. I think what's really great about it is with this launch, we're also looking at including inclusion tags.
As an example, one of the inclusion tags that we have are for colorblind players. Hopefully the inclusion tags will bring players closer to finding their community and even closer to the people that they're playing with. So
But
once
do we
a
need
listing
to
goes
know
live,
that they're
players will be put
colorblind?
into a listing lobby where players
I know that
can
that's
gather,
you're not
they
allowed to
can
ask that,
communicate with
but
each other. So we wanted to make it as
For real.
convenient and as easy as possible for players to not just sit
I only
and
want to
stare
play
at a
with
screen
other
for
color.
a long time
You know
while
what I
their
mean?
listing
That's just
actually fills
that
up.
seems
As
kind
a
of weird.
gamer who's typically more solo, I'm especially excited about this because it really is about helping reduce that anxiety and burden that comes with trying to make a new connection.
But I have a very different opinion because adjectives just
The feature coming
They don't
out
really matter to
today
me.
that I'm incredibly excited about is Timeline Reflections. Essentially what we
The
have
hell
done
is that?
we went back to previous expansions and pulled out missions that we felt really represent key
Excuse me?
narrative beats within our story. We are going to have a mission for Forsaken, mission for Beyond Light, as well as a mission for Witch Queen.
Thanks for the memories, Guardian.
The neat thing about these missions is they're not going to be like one-to-one for how you would experience them in the campaign. You're also going to get additional pieces of narrative fed to you to like identify like, hey, this is why it's important that this happened, and here are the people you met along the way.
A really big one that's really timely for Final Shape is Cade's last stand from Forsaken.
Yeah.
This is a moment that a lot of players, new and old, are going to come back to Destiny. I think this is just the right time to introduce features that are going to allow those players to jump right in and find people to play with and enjoy this content regardless of their power level.
We're reaching the end of this 10-year journey. What comes next?
The episodes and the new way we're going to tell stories moving forward.
What's really important about episodes is that it's a really big shakeup to what we've been doing. Instead of providing 4 seasons a year, you are going to get 3 larger episodes. And so the first 3 episodes in this coming year are called Echoes, Revenant, and Heresy. It's coming right after the Final Shape. And the theme for the year is going to be all about the consequences and aftermath of the final shape. I think what's really the cornerstone of the episode model that we're building is the 3-act structure. The acts act as these anchors for us to introduce new weapons, new artifact mods, new activities. There's going to be new missions coming around the core. There'll be new story moments in every single one of these acts. We're actually providing more cinematic styled experiences throughout the final shape year and the episodes with it than any of the seasons we've ever done.
Okay, this is potentially
These new
pretty dope.
stories are actually playable as standalone. Like each episode is something you can experience whether you've been playing Destiny for 10 years or this is your first one.
You're going to be able to basically enjoy them in any order you want to.
I think the opportunity with this big epic moment is that we get to innovate the game. We get to move the game forward.
It's all about change frequently. It's all about deeper story moments. It's all about more weapons, more loot, more often. And it really provides the team with a platform to go much deeper into the themes and fantasies and story of any individual episode as compared to the seasons you know of today.
I'm so excited to see what the narrative team can do with this kind of new platform of storytelling. Episodes provides this
Because that's
awesome
obviously
foundation
the
for the future
Fickle,
of
the
Destiny.
fanatic.
We're moving into the next stage of Destiny 2. I think some people look at the final shape and they think Destiny 2 is coming to the end. And in many ways, it's the opposite. We're leaning in. We're putting the pedal to the metal. Episodes provide us a new, innovative way for players
The first
to
one was a
engage
Vex.
with Destiny 2 throughout the year.
What makes a guardian a guardian? Devotion, bravery,
sacrifice.
We know that we were chosen for a reason, by something greater than ourselves.
Guardian. Guardian? Eyes up, Guardian.
Shaped by the fires of each new battle, we are forged and sharpened into what we must become for the fight ahead. We are the final line that halts the second collapse.
All of us. Every Titan. Every Warlock. Every Hunter.
What is it the Guardians say? Devotion inspires bravery.
Bravery inspires sacrifice.
Sacrifice leads to death.
Oh my god, is the speaker coming back?
The line between light and dark is so very thin.
Let's cross it together.
That was a very nice juxtaposition. I dig it.
There are things out in the dark that only the dark can overcome. Trust me.
You've heard the stories of the Traveler's sacrifice, of darkness descending upon humanity.
This is actually super hype. I'm not gonna lie.
This time, there is no escape.
Wow.
It's going to be an exciting year for Guardians. We get to make good on a promise that we made way back in 2014. There was classic rock blasting, a fire team racing across our solar system, and at the end, a simple message: become legend. Today, you got a glimpse at how we'll be cementing your legend in this upcoming year. We're going to be heading inside the Traveler, experiencing a destination unlike anything we've ever built before. We'll face the biggest bad we've ever made, and we'll do this all alongside a streamlined progression system, allowing us to easily play with friends in any content in the game. And as the dust settles in the final shape, we're going to continue our legends in Echoes. It's Destiny's first episode in a new phase of storytelling for Guardians, with brand new conflicts born from the resolution of the Light and Darkness saga. These first episodes are just the beginning. But if you're chomping at the bit to see how the Light and Darkness saga is going to kick off the future of Destiny 2, we've got a ton of great content for you to jump into today. Going live after this, we've got Season of the Witch.
Yeah.
With a new story, new weapons, new armor, new activities, and new PvP content, all alongside a series of story catch-up missions, allowing any of your friends to jump into the game and get up to speed on what's happening in this world. Then, next week, a brutal reprisal of Crota's End is going to join the ranks of our aspirational content. I can't wait to see you all in the Throne World as we learn more about the final shape and how we can stop it.
Excite. Big excite.
Do not be afraid. Bring me your tithes.
I don't know how I feel about Eris becoming a hiveling.
After all these years, all we've lost. This fight might be our last. So I'm asking you to rise. One last time.
That was pretty dope. Like, for real, for real. Ooh, collector's edition.
When we create a collector's edition, we try and recreate items from the universe for players to enjoy outside of the game. So this year we're doing the Destiny 1 tower.
The tower!
We really tried
No
to work
shit!
hard at thinking about 10 years of Destiny and how best to encapsulate that experience.
Even as the game dev who've worked on it since day one, like I think having it be the tower is super exciting for us because it's going to kind of catalog your journey of a player from when you first started playing Destiny all the way to now.
I gotta get that.
The tower, it's kind of like the beacon in which you're a place you can call home.
You get the tower, and then there are actual figures
Oh my
of
God.
the Vanguard mentors that accompany that architectural model.
And there's a lot of like hidden messages and hidden things.
There's gonna be some fun surprises. We're always trying to push the envelope. And so we've been playing a lot with magnetic locks and sound effects, lights, just sort of make this experience as a whole really special. It's sort of the perfect symbol of Destiny. I'm so excited for it.
Me too.
That's really dope. I really want to get that. I've never had the chance to get a collector's edition before. So that's really cool. Like, let's go, dude. Pre-order now. Post-show starting soon. Pretty sick. I am going to exit full screen and see if I can get my... Yeah, there we go. Okay. I wanted to make sure I had it. check Discord, see what's going on. I also noticed they didn't mention a new subclass. That was a good showcase. I enjoyed that. I want to get Chris Proctor back on here because I like listening to him talk. I am going to boot up Destiny really quickly and see if I can update the game yet. Because if I can, I want to like start my download, do the update and all that stuff, kind of while we're sitting here chilling. Servers not available. Servers are not available. Well, okay, that makes sense. I just want to get my update in, dog. That's all I'm here for. You know what I mean? Okay, so question mark? Did we get a post show?
Hello Guardians, welcome to the post show stream. My name is Taylor Liz. I am a Destiny 2 player and content creator. I'm excited to be here live at Bungie. We're gonna have 2 segments for you today. A little later in the show, I'll be playing through the brand new Season of the Witch content with my good friend Pika Peach. Right now, let's sit down with Bungie developers to talk more about what we just saw and what's next for the future of Destiny 2. Pika, over to you.
Thank you so much, Taylor. My name is Pika, and I'm also a content creator and Destiny 2 fan. You can often find Taylor and I playing together in some sort of challenge in-game. I'm beyond honored to be sitting down with everyone here today, so let's do some more introductions.
Thank you, Pika. It's great to have you here. Hi, my name is Cosmo. I'm the lead
Cosmo
here at Bungie, and my role is supporting our amazing community team and all the great work
There's a
they
name
do,
that I
helping
know.
prepare weekly check-ins and
I don't
sending
know
info
who
out
these
to our
people
players. I'm going to be
I know
teaming up with
Cosmo.
Pika today, and we're going to be asking some of these guys some questions and go over some of the things that we didn't get to cover in the showcase. So, yeah, Dan.
Yeah, thanks. I'm Dan McAuliffe. I'm the general manager for Destiny 2. And that mostly means that I get to support all the amazing talent that makes this game. So thanks for sitting down with us today.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to it.
I'm Joe. I'm the game director on Destiny 2. And actually, while Taylor and Liz were doing the intro, I was hiding behind a pillar for the last 10 seconds. So y'all can like roll back the VOD and see if I did a good job or not.
Awesome. So let's get into some questions. As a player, what are you guys most hyped about regarding the final shape and beyond? Anything specific you can call out?
For me, I'm really excited about the story. I mean, this is going to be like the epic conclusion to the Light and Darkness saga. Like, players are finally going to get to go into the Traveler, confront the Witness. Like, the stakes have never been higher. I'm just really excited to get to watch everybody play it out as soon as they can. Can we make it live right now?
I don't think
No.
so.
I tried. Anyway, what about you, Dan?
For me, I mean, it's a lot about the supers, right? Like, I just think
the new supers
we have this
really
ability
interesting
with these supers coming out to shift the meta in a really exciting way. And like, I just haven't played through them and gotten some hands on them. Sorry, like no spoilers, but like I think they're going to play in all parts of the game. So I think you're going to see these in the campaign, obviously, but you're going to see these in PvP, and they really feel like that sort of pinnacle achievement of our Guardians journey in a lot of ways.
kinda
So
do.
just really excited to see the final product.
Being able to teleport around and do an AoE as a hunter
for me, I
3
guess it's
times sounds
maybe
pretty crack.
surprising. It's the weapons. And I know, like,
shock.
Yeah, we make a lot of weapons on Destiny 2, right? And so why are we excited about the weapons this time? I think the team sort of really looked and said, what's core to Destiny, right? Like, what's really important? And we said, hey, like, Destiny's at its best when you're getting a bunch of new weapons, and those weapons are so exciting that they are making it onto your character right away. They're like
Here's a
changing the way you
sidearm
play.
rocket
So
launcher. Yeah.
this is not just exotics, right? It's not just like, I think it was alluded to, like, what if Golden Gun was a sniper rifle? Pretty cool sniper rifle. I think it's also, we talked about these new, weapon subtypes. And so what's a support auto rifle? We've made guns that heal before. We've made exotics to do it. Well, if we do it in a legendary, what needs to be different about it so we can make this thing that feels as useful to a fire team as someone bringing Galahorn, that feels as useful as someone, bringing Divinity, right? And we know that's the bar that we have to hit. So we're looking at a bunch of different things and saying, okay, we're gonna make these guns and we're gonna make them matter, right? We're gonna go out and you're gonna get
set a
awesome
pretty high bar
stuff
for yourselves.
on, the Pale Heart. I think we showed a little bit of it. There's like these sweet, they look like a deck of cards. If you go back and watch the footage, and there's a bunch of awesome stuff coming in the weapons. And so I think we're really just trying to hit that core, like, hey, we're a loot game, right? Like, the loot should be awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, me too. So speaking of the Pale Heart, the reveal...
You too, what?
It was said in the reveal that the Pale Heart destination is the first linear destination ever done. So can you talk us through why it was decided to make it more linear destination?
All right, linear.
And
like,
what it means.
Yeah. So
the math lesson now.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many folks have been in algebra recently, but if you're like me and need a little refresher, linear.
Please.
Line, right?
Walk
Like
me
that's
through
what we're
it.
saying here. So, a classic Destiny destination, we think about it as a loop, right? There are these big public areas. They're all connected in a circle, and then from those areas, there's little offshoots. There are little alleyways that you can go to, and that just didn't make sense for going inside the Traveler. One, because the Traveler is huge. When we talk about the Pale Heart, we're saying, like, hey, what if you were an alien, you landed on Earth, and the only part of Earth you saw was like a parking lot in Montana, and you were like, oh, this place is huge, right? Like, it's sort of like, okay, so we're going to show you a really small slice of what is inside the Traveler. And then we said, it needs to feel like you're going somewhere important. It's a vast, unknowable place. Okay, well, on one end, we've got the portal.
Right.
And on the other end, we've got the Witness that's built this giant monolith. And so every single area that we've built is built in a consecutive line from one to the other. So you travel through these things and you can look back at once were. And if you need to go to the next part, you're not going into these offshoots that dead end. You are going to where you need to be going. It's really focused on, hey, you've got a job to do here. So it's like tracking your journey. Yeah, it definitely is.
Okay, cool. Well, that sounds insane. So, super different.
That's what we go for.
During the showcase, it was also mentioned that completing the campaign would unlock the full destination, and that it almost like reacts as we progress. Is that kind of what you're hinting at, or can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, so I think two things we want people really to come away with thinking when they think about. One, this is a bit different in the way that you experience the Pale Heart right away. So normally, you might land on the throne world and you do a mission, and then you're out with your Sparrow exploring the throne world, doing the missions if you want to. Day one of the final shape, you got a job to do, right?
Okay.
And so it is mission, 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 mission,
Right.
mission, right? And you just go through and you say, hey, we've got to stay focused on this thing. When you get to the end of that day one experience, everyone can sort of like collectively take a breath, collect themselves, and then you just this realization like, oh, we're like inside the Traveler, right? Like we should probably go see what that's about.
Right.
And so the whole destination unlocks for you. And there's a lot of things that are different about the Pale Heart than our other destinations. I think we're gonna save some of those juicy tidbits for what's different about this destination and how it sort of compares to what we've done in the past. But yeah, it's a pretty different experience than even what you might expect in somewhere like the Dreaming City.
And for real, like we do want to save some of these juicy tidbits, not just because it's fun, but because like, I mean, the Traveler's just been this inscrutable godlike sphere that people have wanted to know more about for so long. And like, this is their opportunity to experience some of that mystery. And I'm excited to see how that plays out.
Well, it's alive, right? So what can we really expect?
Yeah, I think we talked about this. We showed a little bit. The section that you're in, it's shaped off of who's there, right? And so who's been there?
So cool.
The Witness, right? The Witness
messing stuff up.
Yeah, chilling right there. We're trying to knock on the door. We don't know how to get inside. And and we're gonna make it eventually. And so it's got this both really unique aspect to it, and a bunch of the geo looks like stuff that you've never seen before. A bunch of these places feel like, this heaven on one side, hell maybe in the middle, crazy destiny surrealness at the end. And then there are these accents of like, God, I'm at like a crazy heavenly beach. And then you see this giant ghost carved into a mountain, or you see the D1 tower erecting out of this. And so, we're really excited to sort of give people this like distilled destiny experience that still feels really new when you're in there.
Wow, it's amazing.
So Dan, we've got feedback from players who wanted to learn more about the origins of the Witness and the Veil during the Lightfall campaign, rather than wait until like later on in the seasons. So players have big narrative expectations for the final shape. How are we taking this feedback and making this the epic conclusion that this first saga deserves?
Oh yeah, no, I mean this is the sort of fun of the challenge for this, right? Because the Light and Darkness saga has been such a focal through line for really most of Destiny's existence, right? Like it is this epic story. Joe was just talking about, some of that sort of culmination of experience inside the Pale Heart. And so this is a spot where we have to really land that culmination in a satisfying way, right? Like there is a confrontation that's been happening. There's a story that's been being told. This part of the Destiny world, we have to end really well, and the players deserve that, and the story deserves that. And so there's some things we're doing to account for that. But in addition, we have to set up the next set of stories. We're going to talk probably more about episodes in a bit, but like starting after the final shape with the new episodes framework that we're rolling out, we're going to tell all different stories, and we'll learn more about the world of Destiny moving forward. So that's the unique challenge that we are taking very seriously. And to accommodate that, we've done more, I think, on the narrative side of the fence than we've even done in the past. More significant writers' rooms. We brought in more folks from even other parts of the studio to really kind of consult on this and make sure that, all of our fans who probably know the Destiny lore better than I do are getting the pieces and answers to the questions that they want answered, unless we want to save some of those questions for the future stories that we're going to tell.
Right.
There's more to it that you and the team have been doing as well, if you want to talk to that.
Yeah, probably to steal a little bit from Cosmos and Pika's questions and give them the note card shuffle here in a minute. I think one of the things that we knew that was going to be challenging about this is, hey, we're telling the climax of the story. We know that, hey, when you get in the final shape, in those first moments, we want you to feel like, okay, Bungie delivered on this promise, of becoming legend, delivered on really putting a bow on the Traveler and Pyramid story. The thing that was also important for us is like, okay, well, you're gonna like confront the Witness, like the biggest bad in Destiny. Okay, we think you have to confront the Witness in the raid, right? Like a version of Destiny's chronological history where it's like the Witness was tough. Not quite as tough as Valka-Or, right? Like it's probably not a thing that our players are gonna be super happy about, not a thing I'm gonna be happy about. And so what we really think is this day one experience is sort of like the penultimate episode or the, right before the season finale of your favorite TV show. And it really sets the stage for, hey, this is exactly what's going on in the world of Destiny. The stakes have never been higher. You go through a pretty epic journey. And then we say, okay, now we have to have this raid beat. And so it's sort of a reverse Taken King. If some of our people remember that moment in the Taken King, we delivered a thing where, hey, day one, for 80% of our players, they're like, I dealt with Oryx. And then for like 20%, there was this other thing that they could go do, have another experience with Oryx.
Right.
And so for this one, we say, hey, we want everyone to go really set up what's happening in the final shape. And then for everyone, right, and we're not gonna get into that, right? You should all wait for the raid, right? Like, and we're gonna like help make sure everyone is brought along for the end of this journey. I think it takes a lot of our learnings from both really classic experiences like Crota and Oryx and sort of infuses them with what we've been doing with things like Savathûn and Callus and like taking all that lessons and saying, okay, I think we can do this the right way.
Yeah, and also just for something like this, when you complete the circle of this story that we've been telling, we want to make sure that we're paying homage to the things of the past, and we're talking through just so many of the things that have made this story what it is, but also telling it in a way where if you're coming into the final shape as your first experience, you can enjoy the mission, you can enjoy the campaign, you can understand what is happening.
Right.
But there's just a lot more if you have almost a decade's worth of Destiny play knowledge that you can look at.
So it kind of sounds like that means I have to play the raid to get the full story?
No. Now, while we're really excited about something like Fireteam Finder coming in and making it easier for anyone to get into the raid and experience those beats, yeah, I think the different part from our strategy sort of as in the past was we said, hey, there's something more for those who raid. There is a piece of the story, right, that is told in the raid. There's a piece that's essential. But it is definitely not going to be a moment where only raiders get to see the end of the Light and Darkness saga. Right.
Okay. Well, that's good.
That felt like a bad faith, like, haha, gotcha attempt.
Around 1,000 plot points here.
So, we showed a glimpse of the new enemy, the Subjugators. Are they going to be as terrifying as the Tormentors? Like, what sets them apart from previous enemies?
That feels like an attempt.
Yeah, we were running through some questions yesterday, just like this. Spoiler alert: we do practice a little bit. Like we do think about this. And I got in trouble because I said several obscenities last time I did this. So I'm not going to do that today on stream.
Who scolded you?
It could have been anyone. It could have been anyone that scolded me.
Okay.
And so I've been playing a lot of Final Shape recently, probably surprising to no one. Subjugators are very different than Tormentors. Tormentors are sort of like this Kool-Aid man that busts through the wall and is like saying, hey, all right, look at me, right? Oh, okay. And Subjugators for us, they come out in these moments where you feel like you have a battlefield full of enemies, and then you hear the pyramid screech sound.
There's a sound.
And a Subjugator beams in, and it's like they're the ultimate sort of backfield tactician, right? And they're doing things like giving everyone around it little pyramid buddies. Like you've been shot in PvP with an Arc Soul. Like imagine 10 taken Scions, and suddenly a Subjugator's like, what if you all had little pyramid buddies? And you're like, oh, thanks, Subjugator, right? And so there's still these moments where you're like, you might want to just hold on to your super. You might want to hold on to some heavy ammo when you're playing through the campaign, just in case this busts through. I think one other thing that we've really learned from both Tormentors and Light Hive is started building these sort of like captain-y units, right? These things that feel scary. And we're very careful in both Witch Queen and in Lightfall to make sure, hey, we don't want to overuse these. We don't want this to become a thing where you get a bounty and it's like, kill 20 Light Hive. Oh, wow, they're just everywhere. And I think we're striking an even better balance now that we have a palette of these captains where it feels like, hey, I'm getting these like really meaty sandbox experiences. And we know how to sort of engage them in both the destination and the strike and the mission. So I'm really happy with a bunch of the learning the team has been taking as we continue to make these things.
Oh, totally. Yeah, my super basic take from having played it is that like, and I didn't know how this was going to play out until I experienced it. Joe described it really well, but it's what I want from these units as a player is I want that moment of ha, and insert obscenity here so Cosmo doesn't yell at me.
Right.
But like, and the Subjugator absolutely delivers that in the same way that I felt from the Tormentor, and the same way I definitely felt the first time I saw the Light Hive. But it's just, to Joe's point, it's a very different way, right? Like it comes out like I'm just as terrified and worried for myself and my fire team, but for different reasons,
right?
And with different tactics, and you have to approach them a very different way. So I think it feels very good to me, at least as a player.
Why am I already nervous?
Because whatever he just described, what you were picturing, is probably lighter than what's actually going to happen.
Oh,
like
great.
everybody's are Arc Souls, and
Yeah.
to say.
I'm picturing some, okay.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous. Okay, so Dan, this is for you. Your favorite, or everyone's, not yours, everyone's favorite hunter, Cade 6, is seemingly back from the dead. Can we get a little bit of the story on that?
I mean, I'll happily take this one because I love talking about Cade 6. I mean, here's the reality. We've been talking about this all coming full circle, and Joe was talking about the campaign as mission. You have a mission. There's a thing that has to happen. And like both as players and developers, it was just hard to picture finishing this fight without Cade 6, right? And so we brought Cade 6 back, and you're gonna get less details than you want, but Cade 6 is back for this fight, and it was super important to us as you go through to have Cade 6, Zavala, Ikora on comms talking through, and I think the most critical part of that is it's Cade 6 with Nathan Fillion, and I don't know about everybody else, but like Joe and I were talking about this yesterday, and I think Joe said it really well, which is like when you're playing through the builds as you're going through, and the moment Nathan's line started actually coming through recorded, man, it just hits different, right? Like it just changes the dynamic for me as far as like what I feel about what's going through, the sort of complexities of the story. But the part that's important, I think, to know is that like this is Cade. Like Cade is back. Cade is with you on this journey. He is your guide through the Pale Heart.
Yeah.
And there's other stuff that we're not going to talk about just yet because I want players to experience it. But yeah, anything more you want to add there? It's exciting.
No, we'll probably say this a few times. We were like, what's the final shape? How are we going to do this? What's really important? We really wanted to make sure that this experience felt like the most distilled version of Destiny. Like it's Destiny dialed up to 11. It is the like Destiny extract that if you were baking with, you only need a few drops. Like this is very potent. And for us, we knew, hey, we've been planning this narrative roadmap out for a long time. We were like, okay, we know we need to make the best of this moment that we have with Cade here. But I think it was really, again, as the VO starts to come in and you're in these missions, you're like, oh, that's like Cade 6 talking to me. And even, I wouldn't say everyone's favorite hunter. I mean, Eris Morn might have something to say about that. But yeah, it really starts to be like, okay, yeah, this is that distilled Destiny experience.
Yeah. I'm not picturing Destiny extract on the Bungie store. I don't know what it's for,
I think
but
you got something here, actually. You could bottle this.
Yeah. Not sure what it smells like.
Good point.
I don't even want to speculate.
Yeah, just stop.
So we've been talking about Final Shape. Let's talk about episodes. We've seen some feedback from the players that the season model has gotten a bit predictable at times, and we just saw in the showcase our content cadence is getting refreshed with this episode model. Can you talk us through what episodes are and how they're going to be different than seasons?
Sure, yeah. So, I mean, let's start with sort of what episodes are at their core, right? I think the easiest way to think about episodes is the natural evolution of the seasonal model. Because the seasonal model's done a lot of great things for Destiny. I think we've run seasons for the better part of 3 years at this point, and it has allowed us to deliver really quality experiences at a 3-month, very fast cadence, really move the story forward. I think we've told some great stories, introduced some new activities, new mechanics, really moved everything forward. The problem is, and if we're being honest with ourselves, and I'm going to be honest with ourselves, we really biased towards consistency to do that, right? Like we wanted to deliver it quality. We wanted to deliver it on time, all the time to the player. But that made the experience somewhat repetitive. Like almost sort of by design in a certain way, which is now I think stretched out to the end of its utility. So episodes change up the framework and change up the delivery cadence. So there are 3 episodes a year. The first one will start alongside the final shape, and parts of it will start a little bit after. We can touch on that in a sec. But these 3 episodes are split into 3 acts each. And this means two things, really. One, that now what you're really looking at is 9 beats a year that are 6 weeks apart. And each of these beats gives us an opportunity to materially change the state of the game, materially move the meta forward, introduce new story, introduce new weapons, new perks, new activities. And it doesn't have to be so formulaic. So it allows us to do what I think Destiny does really well, which is get a little weird at times. It allows us to, like, you know, throw, I have some really bad baseball metaphors I'm not going to use, but like throw some curveballs into.
You just said you weren't going to use the baseball metaphor.
The bad one.
Okay.
That's a good one. I can get really deep with this metaphor, and it's going to be interesting to about 4 people, so we're not going to do that. But like, it allows us to react more to, you know, what else is going on in the game. It allows us to change up the way we look at content delivery in a way that I think is just strictly better for all of us who are players, right? Like these 6 weeks, the 6 weeks in between major beats, I think is a really good way for players to, you know, play Destiny in where, you know, within their own lifestyle, how it fits into the white space of their life. I think it allows us to introduce different things, to try some things, to try some different things. Like I said, make it weird and really start to experiment in a couple of places because of it, not everything has to be there all at once, right at the top. Right. So I think what episodes allows us to do is to not only continue telling stories in I think a new and pretty interesting way, but it also allows us to just really amp up the variety of the types of things that we can bring and when we can bring them into the game, which I think is just going to be a great experience.
Absolutely. What does that mean for the reward track?
Yeah, so one of the most interesting things that we're doing with episodes is probably how they start.
Okay.
So for us, again, we've talked a lot. It's like pretty important that when the final shape is happening, everyone in the universe is saying, you know what's important? This whole thing that's going on in the Traveler right now. We've got to stay really focused. So we wanted the episodes to be a reaction to what happens when the final shape resolves, right? And so this means both, we don't want to tell a competing story at the same time, and we want, hey, once the first episode kicks off, for it to be in the context of what happens in the final shape. So the majority of the narrative content, the activity content, really when the episode begins, happens that reset after the raid. However, right away, we know there are some systems that just need to be online. So the reward track, you're gonna be able to get Red Death, log into the game, claim it from the past. I've been using it a lot in playtests. It's a solar weapon. Can I say that? So like a little bit of like, yeah. Someone from the weapons team is like, oh, I said it was a solar weapon. Yeah, I think we're excited to have that. And there's even a few stuff that you're going to be able to get weapon-wise from the episodes themselves. We have another sub-archetype that's going to be out there. We haven't talked about what sub-archetype that is, but we might see it in some way. I think it's the kind of thing that people are going to be like, oh, I might bring this to the Raids World First race. And so we're excited for both having some of this content available right away, but keeping the meat of that narrative, keeping what's important for the story and the world of Destiny to say, no. We're going to say everyone's on the same page when this kicks off. If you are in episode 1, you're hearing those lines of dialogue, you're getting those story beats, everyone is saying, okay, we all just saw what happened, right? Like we were all there for that. And like, yeah, we were.
And nuts and bolts wise, so episodes, we're still going to run season passes alongside episodes. And so before, where it was a season pass specific to a season, now it's actually going to reset at every act. So you'll have 100 ranks for the first act of each episode, and then 50 additional will be added for each subsequent act. So 200 ranks throughout the course of an entire episode. And that length actually allows us to add some more stuff to it, right?
Yeah, I think we want to make sure that those additional ranks in Act 2 and Act 3 are really rewarding, and so we've both learned from our players, like, hey, we really value this. Can we get more of this? And so, like, great, we got that. And then we're also just going back to some old experiments. One of the things I'm really excited about is, in the 30th anniversary, we tried this experiment where, like, we're going to give everybody a tiger helmet, right? And it's like silver and it glows, and I'm like, yeah, and Hunters, Titans, Warlocks, they can all wear it. I'm like, maybe we should do that again. Maybe that should be what's on the very end of the pass, where not only is there, you know, a unique armor set, but at the end you can be like, hey, and I was there, I did the whole thing right now. I got like this awesome helmet and everyone wears the same thing. Yep. So we're excited to be taking a lot of learnings and pushing this and saying, okay, I think we've made a thing that players are gonna be able to sink their teeth into and feel rewarded from and be excited about.
Yeah.
I like the idea of having like a unique reward to an episode. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, you answered the question about 2 separate narratives, so we don't need that card anymore. Good. What about the artifacts, like the perks? Like, are players going to have a different experience there, or are they going to get the same kind of like day one, or?
Yeah. So day one, you're going to see something that looks exactly what you expect the artifact to look like, right? It's got the same amount of rows and columns. We've really been honing in on how to like make each artifact feel different. What's going to happen, though, is when Act 2 rolls around, some magic space appears at the top of the artifact, and a whole nother row appears.
Nice.
And so this is not meaning you're going to get less in Act 1. You're going to get the same amount you're used to. But Act 2 brings another row. Whole new ways to modify the game. And Act 3, another row on top of that. So we really want these acts to feel like, hey, it's not just that we're bringing new activity content in. It's not just that we're bringing new narrative content in. We are shaking up the meta. There's new rewards, there's new ways to play, there's new nightfalls in the rotation. Right? All of this is sort of what we're hitting at. It's like, yeah, we love this idea of, you know, players finishing the final shape, an episode kicking off, and then just being a few weeks away from like, wait, Act 2 is like weeks away? And you're like, yeah, it's right around the corner. And then they're in Act 2 and like, oh, Act 3 is weeks away? Yeah. Like, how can we make sure that Destiny always feels like it's changing and evolving?
Yep.
Yeah, it sounds like it'll be like really refreshing more often. But can you tell us what happens after the first 3 episodes? What's next with Destiny 2?
So the episodes are our new storytelling framework. You're gonna get less information than you want, but they allow us to really move the story forward in different ways. And so one of the things that we want to experiment with is, can we make some of these episodes more standalone stories? Do they have to all interconnect? Can you play them in specific orders, things like that? And so, so after the episode 3, the intention is to continue rolling episodes forward and keep telling different stories and take whatever learnings that we get from the first 3 episodes and start to evolve the framework.
Yeah, and I don't think Dan's gonna kill me here, but we'll see. So maybe keep that coffee cup out of his hand.
I'm waiting for a spit take.
Yeah. We got a lot of people. Most of them are at home. I was going to point to the other side of the office. Most of us work from home now. That are working on Destiny 2, and are going to still be working on Destiny 2 after the final shape. And so,
I'm not going to kill you for that.
It is not just episodes. Like, we know there's a bunch of content, and there's different ways that we can get that in the player's hands. And those folks still want to make that content, like the awesome stuff that we're sort of known for. And so, again, we'll be a little coy here today. But yeah, just to go back to what Robbie was saying, like, hey, we got some more tread on the tires here, and we're excited to show you where we're driving.
Yeah, and again, to what we were saying before, we think the episode model with the 3-act structure allows more like flexibility for us to make some of that cool content and make some different content. And I think the team is pretty excited about that too.
So episode 4. Maybe, who knows?
You know, you gotta find out what happens in the first 3 episodes.
Uh-oh.
All right, so...
All right, here's the entire
story. Are we doing it again? No, okay,
All right, well,
there we
I
go.
cracked the code. What are some changes?
Uh-oh. Are we doing it again? Or is this because I'm finally downloading the update? It might be that. But we're still showing green, so, you know. Should be fine. Probably, maybe. Kind of, sort of. Although we can afford to turn down Twitch now. Because they're not talking about anything super important. So once it actually does go live, even then it's still kind of, oh, you know, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Da, 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 da. Ba-da-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Looks like we've got about a minute left until we get the stuff and the things. Let's come up here and let's claim it. There we go. I'm pretty sure it's already connected, so I don't need to worry about that. Why is this hanging though? Like, it's hanging for a long time, dude.
In the game, whatever guns you have, you're gonna group up with me. We're gonna do the dungeon.
Yep.
We're gonna go play PvP. We're gonna go do this thing, and you're gonna
That
be able to
hung up
enjoy
a
yourself.
long
And there's
ass
still
time,
this
dude.
incentive for them, like, okay, well, I'd rather be not 5 under
Man.
Joe's power and seeing him beat me on the damage tables, right? Like, let's get, let's clear that gap. But for
what? Don't stutter, dog.
a bunch of people that want to come back and play with their friends, I think we're doing a lot here. We're excited about Fireteam
Dude.
Finder as well. Like, I think there's going to be this whole new influx of Guardians in season 23. They'll be like, Last Wish. So what's that all about, right? Like, I've heard some things. There's a dragon there. Let's just go check that out. And I think it's a big precursor to what we want Destiny to be. We want to stop hiding our best content by a bunch of walls behind people and say, no, come in here, experience this. There's a lot to chase, even after you access the content. So let's make it easier to access the content.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing for me. It's just that, like, I want an experience for Guardians between Fireteam Finder and Fireteam Power, and where you can come into the game and be like, I heard that's the best content in the game. I want to be able to go play it, and be able to go play it. Right?
Are you this tall? Sorry.
Yeah, you can't ride the ride. Exactly. Like, I feel called out. But in all seriousness, like, that's the goal behind all these systems. And I think Joe painted a really good picture of why it's still important for the really, top end players to really want to go and keep themselves as high end and have all the weapons and all that stuff, even for that content. But give those other players the ability to try it, because I think that's where Destiny's at its best, is in some of those.
And we didn't talk a bunch about this, but we know that Guardian Ranks has done a bunch for our new players this year in helping them get through and onboard the systems. But Guardian Ranks wasn't able to solve, like, okay, I understand what a mod is, but who are these people? Who are the Hive? Who is Cade 6? Everyone keeps talking about Cade 6. And so, time on reflections, we're not going to put Bife out of business anytime soon, but getting that experience.
Oh, the Bife shout out.
To be able to go, look,
Yo.
Hey, I want to go to the timeline. I want to read a thing. I can watch a thing. Oh, and then I can play a thing, right? Like, it's one thing to hear about Cade. It's another thing to play with Cade.
Right.
And I think that for, a bunch of our new players, it's going to be an exciting way to experience some content. And I think even some of our older players are just going to be like, you know what I want to go do today?
A little nostalgia.
I want to go hang out with Cade 6 in a prison.
That's right.
I like it. So can you kind of explain how Fireteam Power works for us?
Yeah, so there's 2 ways that we're really thinking about power in Final Shape and beyond. One is what we're calling power fixed activities. So this is stuff like free roam destination, the regular strikes queue, the base power of an exotic mission, right? Which we're really excited. Like, we want to build more Seraph Shields. We want to build more Presages. And so for a bunch of this, we're going to say, even if you don't have a friend, right, go into this, bring whatever you want. We've adjusted the difficulty for it to just feel good to play, right? And so we know you want to go around the destination and be able to one-shot dregs with a hand cannon. Yeah. We also want the destination to put up a little bit of resistance and to feel like maybe I can't be shot by 15 dregs. And so, like, we're dialing in that power, but it's like, okay, this is a great, like, base experience. For the story of Final Shape, that experience is power fixed. So you're going to get power upgrades, but you don't have to equip them, right?
Right.
Then, post that, we say, hey, we've got a bunch of power-enabled activities too. This is the aspirational stuff.
Mhm.
The raid, the dungeon, trials, right? For this, say, okay, I care about power. And so we've got an employee that we like to pick on here, a guy by the name of Matt Noguchi, who is a very hardcore Destiny player. I think that I'm a hardcore Destiny player, and then I look at my friends list, like, how is his pass level this high, right? Like, and so we still want to say, hey, you know, you feel like you're rewarded and engaged, but you can go into Nightfall and let's say, hey, you've been out across the world doing good deeds. You weren't able to play Destiny for the last 3 months.
Mhm.
You come back and say, you know, I like Destiny, but what I really like are dungeons, really like are raids. Okay, get in Matt Noguchi's fire team. Anyone that's in, you know, a pre-made fire team, whether you made this fire team in Fire Team Finder or whether you made it from your friends list, it's gonna look at say, who's the highest fire team, like who's the highest power level, and then it's gonna take that and say, you know, we're dialing the numbers. I think right now it's 5. It might
Right
be
now it's
3.
5, yeah.
I'm gonna say, okay, everyone in here, 5 below, no matter what. Now, if you're close on that, great. We're gonna respect your power. But no matter what guns you have, no matter what armor you have, we're gonna say, hey, we're gonna take this all up. And so you don't have to worry about, hey, I don't have the new stuff that I need. Instead, I'm like, hey, go play the raid and then go get the new really good raid weapons, right? Like that's the thing we want you to be caring about. Not that you can't step in the content at all, right? Focus on the optimization, not on the requirement.
So I can load in with the green loadout?
You want to. I mean, listen, I put on some armor that can't take resistance mods, and
Right.
that's a bold choice.
But doable.
Yeah, but doable. Yeah, yeah. We will not. So I'm sure we'll see some wacky raid clears.
Dang it,
that are
Bobby.
Like, oh, I did it all in the broken parade set. And like, you certainly did.
That sucks for you.
Yeah.
What about with trials? It's like the one kind of like PvP thing that
Yeah, so we know there are some important reasons to keep power on in trials and really to try to keep that a fair playing field. And so right now it's power enabled, and we're going to have a switch where we're going to say, hey, we're going to test out fire team power in this, because one, we want to make sure that we keep that experience in a good spot. Two, like it is an experience where I've got this friend Shane, and he is a master with Golden Gun, but he plays Destiny off and on. I would love to be able to say, Shane, we're playing trials this weekend, and I know you haven't played in a while. Please just put the client back on, get inside, and him just be able to go, and I'll have better weapons, I'll have better armor, but he's still gonna pop Golden Gun and get us 2 kills every time. And so I think we do want to still have that, you know, experience for even at the high end of PvP. We just want to make sure we do it right. And so it is something that we are walking in carefully and saying, okay, we're gonna try this, we're gonna test it. If it doesn't work, we're gonna find a different solution.
Yeah, and specifically, we're gonna like we want us to have room to experiment. And so I think Joe's right, where we'll start off with it power enabled sometime during the episode. We'll flip that switch, and we'll communicate that out, and we'll make sure everyone's aware that it's coming, and we'll see how it goes. And if it goes really well,
Still waiting on the game
we'll
to
figure out
let
what's
me
good
in.
with that next. And if it doesn't, we'll figure out if there's something else we need to try differently. But yeah, so I'm excited to see if it gets more variety of players into trials and more people who didn't feel like they could do it before give it a go, which would be interesting.
That sounds great. So kind of on that note, the in-game LFG has been an ask for a long time. Can we talk about the Fire Team Finder experience a little bit more?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is probably, I'm a big LFG user. Like when someone's like, Joe, we want to raid this time, this day. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing that time. My desired raid experience is that I log in and I say, I have, you know, an hour, I have 2 hours, and I'm like, I want to raid right now. So I'll go to my friends list, and if I don't have friends on to play with, I will go to one of the community-run LFGs. And there are so many great services out there that do this.
Right.
But for a bunch of players, they don't understand that exists. They don't have access to this. It can be a pretty big hurdle to just be like, hey, I'm just looking to do the, you know, legend version of this activity. I wish I could just go in game and say, I'm not quite comfortable with match-made people, but if I can get you in a group with me and we can talk about it, can we make that fast? Can we make that so I just like, hey, what do I want to do? Okay, I want to do the new seasonal activity. I want to do legend. And you can pick, even at this stage, you can say, just give me people and we'll go right away. Right? I'll take the random draw. You can also say, no. Give me people and I want to be able to approve or deny them when they come in. They say, hey, is someone you want? Okay, yeah. We talked in chat. I don't think you're the right person. We're going to wait until we get the people that we want. And so it's really about striking this balance of both being customizable for folks that are like, I'd like to do a teaching run. I'm a guide player. I want to teach people how to do Last Wish. And also sometimes we have players that like, I've got 45 minutes to do Ghosts of the Deep. I do not want to teach right now, right? And so I can go in there and I can say, hey, I'm looking for people at this Guardian rank. I'm looking for people that are experienced and want to go fast. And we know that we need to build a looking for group tool that can do both of those things. And so it's a big step. These systems are very challenging, and I think we're going to learn a lot about when it's coming out. That's why we're like, this is coming out in season 23, and we are going to get people looking at this, playing this, and we're going to figure out, what happens when the community gets it in their hands, and really make sure that we're in a good shape for when people are using this tool to do Final Shape content.
Yeah, and I think to Joe's point from the beginning, it really democratizes some of that like Pinnacle experience, right? Like new players don't know to go out of the game and look for these really legitimately good community services. But like, I think a lot of players stay contained to what's inside of the client, and we want to make sure that those players can have the same grouping experience as the core fans who've learned how to do it in those community activities. So
just to nerd out about this a little bit more, so there's like 2 ways to enter into the Fireteam Finder flow. There might actually be a few more. Like one, there's like I'm gonna go select Fireteam Finder from my roster, and you're gonna go into there and you're gonna see the, okay, do I want to do raids? You're gonna pick through this whole flow. There's another way. If you like go click on a raid or a thing which you could have other people, in the roster where you see where all the emblems go.
Yeah.
It'll have your emblem, right? Oh, I'm in my fire team, and then the next one will just be like, hey, do you want to use Fireteam Finder for this? And you just click on that button, and it'll be like, here you go, right? Like, and so we think this is just going to expose a bunch of people to content and get them in.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited to get more, Guardian rank 7s into Guardian rank 8s and expose some of our great content to more people.
And making friends.
Yeah.
Along the way, maybe, if you want.
Yeah, and it only has 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Listen, we haven't had time to chat here.
Yeah, it's great that we're like setting this up as additives too. So like you said, we're not gonna like go out and take down any of these LFG sites that exist. Like you're welcome to still do it that way if you've built communities that you're comfortable with. This is gonna be another like direction.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So, what does this mean for guided games? Is it time?
I think the guided games beta, might eventually be coming to an end, and so I think we want to make sure we do this in the right way. I know there's some emblems and things that are connected to that, but we really see Fireteam Finder as just the fully fledged version of how to find a group, and so. This is definitely the future for finding groups, and we think it's going to solve a bunch of problems. Like, hey, can I make sure that I'm finding people with the same desires as me, and a bunch of things that really guided games couldn't do. And so, definitely in the future, we don't want people being like, oh, how should I get into a group? Should I go on guided games? Like, no, go to Fireteam Finder.
Go get those rewards while they last.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So Joe, this is for you. You mentioned in your video on Twitter last week, in the reveal, we wouldn't be talking about a Strange Coin and Xur revamp or the rework of the hood. Here we are in the post-show. Surprise.
Wow.
Can you say anything about those things?
I feel like I have a lot more makeup on than I had in my office last week. Okay. I don't want to spoil too much here. I think starting with Strange Coins, we want to do 2 things here. One, we want to make Xur really exciting the experience, right? And Xur has felt this presence for our most regular players. Like, what Xur got on the weekend? I think we still have that for newer players. They're like, oh, I gotta go to Xur. Like, we've lost it with our, people that play Destiny every week. And so I think one, it's putting Xur back into this. Like, you're going to be excited about what Xur is selling this week. Two, it's like going back to Strange Coins, right? Like this feeling of, hey, I'm doing ritual stuff in Destiny, strikes, PvP. I'm getting these coins, and I'm like, what am I going to spend them on? And so this is also about, making some of our ritual content rewarding. Optional, pick what you want to do, play Gambit, play Strikes, play Crucible, but you're gonna do that and you're gonna get something and you're like, hey, how's my Strange Coin purse looking, right? Like, and then when's Xur coming? Because certainly a lot of Guardians were caught by surprise early in Destiny's life cycle of, is that really worth my Strange Coins? And they lived to regret that moment.
Why you gotta bring up Gallahorn,
coming
dog?
back wouldn't be a bad thing.
That's good.
Oh, HUD, was that the other one? I think, to talk, sort of zoom out and talk about HUD, for our players that get really into build crafting and go into some really tricky activities, there's gonna be this moment where you look on the left-hand side of your screen, like, oh, there's a lot of text there, and it's important and it's hard to parse. And this is the thing that we're like, hey, we've just got to make this more clear. And so really this update is about moving some of that stuff around the HUD to better locations to make it more clear, hey, what's coming from my Guardian, what's coming from the environment or from enemies, and making sure that the important stuff stays on screen, right? And then
like Unstable Light.
Like,
Is that
yes, it is. I mean, I'm constantly like, how many armor charges do I have, right? Like, oh, how much time do I have left before I die, right? And like, let's sort of start getting that information in the right places.
Seems important.
Yeah.
All right. Let's try one more time.
Some fans wondering, like, as we expand out, start working on new projects, become a true multi-IP studio.
Trying to get our Destiny on, dog.
There's worry that those teams may take away resources that were meant for Destiny. Like, what are we doing as a studio to take on this challenge?
Yeah, no, I appreciate this question. So, like, there's a couple things we need to understand, right? Like, Joe and I've been talking for a while now about just how much stuff is coming after the final shape, and all the work going to episodes, and potentially more beats later next year. And like, we still have a great, talented team working on all of those things. When we start up new projects, we're deliberate about who moves over and who stays behind, things like that, and really from there start hiring more people to try and work these things out. I mean, Bungie itself has increased in size as we've expanded and started working on more projects. That is because we're bringing in folks to make sure that we can expand out while still maintaining the work that we already have. And so, like, if you just look at what's coming down the pipe with all the work, all the stuff coming from episodes, beats down the line, all the work in the live game that Joe's been talking about.
And we were really not getting anywhere with this login, dog.
Talented team with a mixture of veterans and new folks, which is always the case, who are coming in to, just keep moving Destiny forward and keep it fresh. So I think strategically, like, it's always a challenge.
We are not getting anywhere with this.
You're at any kind of scale, but I'm very impressed and have been for the years I've been here with the way that we bring in talent and the type of talent that comes and wants to work on Destiny. And I think there's even some areas where we've seen that fresh talent has brought some of the new exciting stuff you've been talking about.
Yeah, I mean, here's some personal stuff. I didn't start on Destiny until right after the Dark Below shipped.
Yeah.
I had not made a first-person shooter before. Came from like the MMO sphere of game design. There are people that are working on Destiny to this day that taught me how to place a monster and it feel good for a first-person shooter. And like, there's a Jason Jones video that you watch when you start, right? There's like, hey, a senior activity designer pulls you into a room. We still have so much of this like really legacy talent on the Destiny 2 team. But I think the thing that always surprises me is time flies. You'll be like, oh, this is this person that's new to the studio. And they're actually like, I've been here for 3 years and I'm like a god in the tools now. And you're like, oh, whoa, you are, right? And then suddenly they're the person that's pulling someone to a room and be like, let me teach you how to make a first-person shooter. It's really awesome to see that talent grow at Bungie. And I think what's really important is we still in the studio on the team have all these people that carry this legacy knowledge.
Are we getting in?
Spreading it and propagating it. Sometimes not just to Bungie, sometimes to the rest of the games industry, and that's.
I think I'm actually getting in, dog. Let's go.
That's a really great culture to be a part of.
It is, and like, I mean, just recently I was in a playtest where, this is no joke, like it's, we had a smattering of folks who were in their first week. Like part of their first week was to be in this Final Shape playtest, and also in the same room were 2 20+ year Bungie veterans who have been on Destiny from the jump, right? And so it's just, I know that like it's probably hard to wrap your head around if you're not on the inside, and I don't want to start like naming names of people and whatnot, but like it's just, I think the mix of, to Joe's point, of that like veteran savvy and you know, new fresh ideas.
All right.
You know,
Whatever.
New hunger for different parts of the game. I think just it's just a really cool culture, to Joe's point, and I think it's just really good things for the game over time.
Close that. And now we're gonna play some goddamn Destiny. Boop.
Listen up, glitter bums. This is first Ghost and Maru talking.
Glitter bums?
You're still trying to get through the witness's portal, huh? That ain't a door you can just kick open. You even asked some leftover worm for answers. Too bad she led you right to us. Now you need help from the one witch nobody can trust. My boss, Savathun. Even though she's temporarily dead, she left instructions for this very situation.
Of course she did. She's not
As
stupid.
usual, you maggots are 3 steps behind. Savathun will help you on one condition. First, deal with her sister, Xivu Arath. She's the Hive God of War and the Witness's best general. It's a win-win, see? Don't look so sour. You've already got everything you need. I suggest you start with a witch of your own.
I don't like that at all. I don't like this at all, dog. No, I think I do not.
Guardian, the Witness poses a dire threat, and the Witch Queen holds the answers we seek. But only if we contend with her sister. Amaru has promised us a method for defeating Xivu Arath, arranged by Savathun before her death. There is a spire atop her throne world's sanctum, a place of dire experiments where she abused the light. With this knowledge, Imaru and I have devised a powerful artifact infused with Hive magic. It will allow you to dispel the Witch Queen's trickery and master the spire through a ritual of our own.
Oh, we are using a completely different thing now. Okay. Well, that's fine.
Even in death, the Witch Queen lays her snares for us. Be careful, Guardian.
This is a real privilege, so act like it. Savathun doesn't open a spire to just anyone.
If such a place exists.
Why lie, when the truth is so much more dangerous?
You are not the Witch Queen, and the Guardian is far more dangerous.
Please. Xivu Arath is too much for you to handle. You need our help.
And you need ours.
Do I?
Amaru, tell your Lucent Hive to stand down.
Savathun's orders are for them to guard the spire. I'm sure your little glowworms can handle it.
Holy shit, there was one on the other side. I wasn't paying attention. Let's try that again. What? Hey.
I don't like this. Resurrecting Savathun, using her magic. This is exactly what we wanted to avoid.
The
Agree.
Witch Queen knew she could entice us with a common goal. Removing the threat of Xivu Araf.
Yeah. And she knew the Vanguard had a little hive acolyte of their own. That's why she's opening up her spire. She thinks you've got what it takes.
I'm concerned about the Shrieker that's up there.
Void crystals bend reality through tightly channeled power. Shatter them to break their control.
What? Okay, you just gotta get inside.
Use that witch's staff to cast a little spell of your own. Spire's just up ahead. Don't need more than some lightless lackey's fancy eyes to see it.
This is where the Witch Queen fell, and you fled for your life. Remember that.
We should focus.
That was a fluke. Your guardians got lucky.
Really? How many of your apostate ghosts have seen the Guardian's mercy?
Don't you threaten me.
I am not threatening you. I am telling you what the Guardian will do.
Bro, Eris. Maybe don't make them mad. We need their help. Oh, it's time for the bell. Ow. Stupid.
So where is this spire?
You'll see. Start the ritual to bring down Savathun's illusion.
Oh, god damn it. If I'd been paying more attention, I would know that that's where I needed to take it. Nope, nope, don't want it.
Conduct the arc charge between the crystals. Guardian, channel your magic with the witch's staff. You now wield Hive magic and have entwined it with your light.
Whatever you face next will test that power to its limits.
You think your guardians are up to scratch?
What will we find inside the spire?
A way to take down her sister. That's all she told me. And that's all I'm telling you.
And she'll uphold her bargain? Give us the information we need.
I'll bring her back as soon as Evu's taken care of. Then you can ask her yourself.
Guardian, traverse the spire. We shall see what morsel of truth awaits us.
Okay. Okay. 47 seconds. That implies that there's more to do. Uh-oh. Can't go that way. Is anything gonna happen, or what are we doing here? I see. Exotic ghost, very witnessy. I see what you're doing there. An emote, a sparrow, secret stash for every episode, tessellation, the dungeon key. We got a lot of stuff going on there. Send the spire, tie your conquests, master the arcane arts, and escape with your rewards. I actually do really like that ornament, though. I am not gonna lie to you. Okay. So we got this old ass shell. We're picking this up. This was previously you could only get it for purchasing. I think it was the Mida multi-tool ornament. Now it's available for Bright Dust, which we're all about. No, we're not doing it. Improvised hammer. No. Let's see what else we got in here. We got some ornaments coming back. Okay, these are things that go with other things. Contingent charge with armamentarium. Okay. And a pretty hot armamentarium ornament. Not gonna lie, that looks really cool. And then we've got one to go with Liar's Handshake, and I assume this is nothing manacles? Oh my god. Absolutely cringe. Let's see what else we've got here. Oh, we've got a new ornament for Monarch, and then presumably the shader that they applied to it. Oh my god. I mean, it is animated. You cannot deny that that is an animated shader. Oh boy, there's a lot going on with that. We got a new finisher. That one seems kind of questionable. Space Age Agriculture, the Withered Hoarder. Because people like Wither Horde, they gotta make stuff that's Wither Horde themed, I suppose. That one is the most Wither Horde-y thing so far. What else we got? Battle Ready. So Mad Maxi, I guess is what they're going for, yeah. Collaborative Destruction. Okay, whatever. Boosted backflip. Okay, okay, not bad, not bad. Okay, okay, okay. Knighting ceremony. Okay, 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 okay. Well, we got some interesting stuff here. It is actually kind of cool looking. The slap fight. All right. Let's see what we've got. Ambient Leap. It's like, okay, that's a thing. Final Warning has... Okay, sure. Deterministic Chaos. So they've got the Black Armory kind of stuff for it. That's fine, I guess. Grand Overture. Actually looks pretty clean. Future Past. For Hierarchy of Needs. I like this. Huckleberry getting a new one. That's surprising. But this is really cool looking. I'm a big sucker for like wood grain on my guns. Not always, but it often looks really cool, and I like that a lot. So I will probably pick that up at some point. What else do we have? Paretic foot. That looks pretty cool. Pick that up at some point. Okay. So this one's probably in... Oh, these are recommended. I'm stupid. I'm a dumb. For Cogent Beat, really all I want to do is get the helmet. Hopefully I can do that at some point this season, although it may not be available. I would like to pick up Nightly Noir, because I think that one looks really good. We've got Explosion for Sunshot. Yeah, sure, why not? Scribe's Shell. No. No. Also no. Like, it's okay. Oh, exteriors. This weapon enrages when dealing or taking sustained damage, gaining increased rate of fire while enraged. Okay. Is this a heavy weapon? Special. Okay. Continuously draws ammo from reserves, so you don't really have to reload it. Magazine also enables firing arc projectiles that detonate on impact. Final blows create a loyal moth that will seek out nearby targets, detonate, damaging, and blinding them. I guess we can try it out. I don't know. This might be kind of cool depending on that effect. Maybe. Let's see what else we got. Arcane Banishment. And that's not bad. What do we got? The Aramite Fusion Rifle. High Impact. Solar. Okay. Bria's Love. Now there's a name that we haven't heard in a long time. Not even that long. This is Eris's Ghost. Head Rush. Standing up after crouching grants this weapon a brief period of improved handling and reload speed. This would be really good on a sniper rifle. Acro Amatis. That looks pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. We got another shader. Not half bad. Ghost Shell, kinda whatever. We got some armor. I picked up, I think, the chest piece. Seems kind of whatever. Yeah. Let's look at the mark. Okay. Chest. Not bad. I could see things you could do with that. And then headpiece. Kind of weird, but alright. I mean, you do you. So then we've got a universal ornament to make me look like a tree. Okay. Okay. Hmm. That's alright. It's a little weird that you added the stick on my back, but okay. Okay. Okay, okay. Some interesting stuff going on. Okay. Let's hit up the helm real quick. Let's drop off some gear. And then we'll be on our way. Aw, man. The Gamescom stream just started. I see Alan Wake 2. Okay. Let's drop off some stuff because we have a little too much of this stuff. Don't need you. We're not using you. Okay, let me see if I need to pull anything from Dim. I don't think I do, but you never know. And maybe in a little bit I can just go over the new weapons and we'll see what we got. Might be kind of fun. Let's see. Yeah, we'll pull you. You're Old Faithful. Why not? To that end, let's pick up you as well. I do like my trace rifles. We'll leave that the way it is, though, for now. Loadouts seem to still be disabled, which I would very much like to be able to access. But I understand. I get it. There was some kind of an issue with them. I believe they were being used for an exploit of some kind. So I'm not even mad. I'm just really wanting my stuff, please. Okay. Yeah, I think this is probably good. Oh. What? What is this? That's different. Strand solar and solar. Okay. It's like an eye.
There is nascent light to be found here. We must stoke it and harness its power. Be prepared for anything.
Shoot the void crystals to bring him down!
Scorn? What are y'all doing here? I did not realize that I had those coming for me. Okay, I get it.
Looks like the way up is cleared. Be careful.
Guardians, I'm sure Imaru has given you a warm welcome on my behalf.
Savathun's dire machinations echo through these halls. She whispers from the past, anticipating each outcome.
She left you some recordings. It ain't that deep.
proposal. We have mutual interests after all, despite our bad blood. You might not believe me, but I love my sister. But to us Hive, love is death. No one knows more about killing her than I do.
Makes sense.
There is something vile at the heart of this place. Steeped in Hive magic, but bound by the light.
Savathun planned for this moment.
She knew the Guardian would end up here eventually. Eris Morn in tow.
Requires solar attunement.
Bring the Hive's light to that ritual circle.
Let them know fear.
Whoa! Oops! So what I learned here was to not do that. exactly sure how I'm supposed to destroy a Shrieker with this.
The spire is alive with light. We have redirected the Witch Queen's spells and empowered it to some end. I am not certain. Hive runes manifest here. Discern their pattern and traverse the Witch Queen's labyrinth.
Zeborah can't be confronted. That's what she wants, and she always gets exactly what she wants. So spoiled, so loved. You'll have to find another way. Only her equal could ever have a hope of overcoming the threat of my sister's war march. Only a hive.
So, it rests with me. Eris?
I don't really know where I'm supposed to be going, but I definitely went through the right door. I'm pretty sure. But, at the same time, it can't be the right door if there's nowhere to go from there. So it's like, It's this one right here.
My sister depends on the foundations of her cold logic. If you want to remove her from the board, you'll need to test her thesis. There's power for the taking, Eris. And for that, you'll have to prove your right to exist.
Savathun speaks of the sword logic. No, we can't play the Hive God's games. And yet we must.
One of Savathun's experiments. Real mean. Go get him!
What did we do?
We have reconfigured the inner workings of the spire and opened the path to its fetid hypogeum.
Not how I would have put it, but that's right.
There is dire magic here, and I am its conduit. We may use this power to our own ends.
Eris, you can't. This is dangerous.
Meet with me, Guardian. I will prepare the ritual.
Why is he giving us a full minute? That's a good point. I did my part, I suppose. I didn't kill as much stuff as everyone else, but to be expected. I don't like what's going to happen here based on what we saw in the trailer stuff all that much. Sounds fucking horrifying.
Xivu Arath draws strength from our conflict. She believes her logic absolute. I will grasp it and contravene its power. There is no other way.
Will you come back from this?
Does it matter if I do? What I am has served me, and has served humanity. Aka, Zeta, Sel.
This is what Savathun wants.
We serve our interests, not Savathun's.
She's outmaneuvered you again. You need me.
We need your silence. Do not be
Aka
afraid.
and Zeta
Bear
are two of the
witness to
worm
my
gods.
sublimation.
Although Aka is dead.
I
And of course so is
separate the
Zeta.
true from the dead. I am the many-mouthed hunger. I am the knife-edged truth. I devour the free. I conspire with my vengeance. I will take what I need. The words in my throat are the weapon in my fist. Hayat! Hayat! Hayat!
Oh no! She's taking it off for the first time ever, and we're still not going to see what's behind it. Ikora, why did you let... Why? Why?
Bring me your tithes.
There's no way this is going to end well. Remember that whole, hey, there was a reality where Eris became the Witch Queen? Yeah, Yeah. Yeah. This is not going to end well, I fear. Alright, cabbaged. Open a portal, you say? I don't like this at all. I don't like this at all. I don't like this at all.
Guardian, though my form twists in this rune-bound circle, I remain Erismorn, given not to the deep, but to vengeance. The Hive have taken much from me. By naming the worms, I have taken from them, and I must take from you. The splinter of hive worm rests in your staff. It is enough to bind us and mark you as my acolyte. By the sword logic of the hive, your conquests strengthen me. You must tithe mightily if I am to become strong enough to defeat Xivu Arath. She draws power from all conflict. She is the blade breaker, war, drinker, conqueror, immortal. I ought drown her in blood. Add your voice to the chorus of violence. Let us show her what it is to be Hive.
I don't like any of that. Sounds like we're trying to out-violence the god of war and use our violence to tithe to Eris, even though our violence also tithes to Xivu Arath, who also gets tithed from all of the other Hive. Sorry, I'm reading crap on Discord like an idiot. Okay. Yeah. I don't like this at all. cards from the deck of Whispers. The powerful form of hive magic manifests through Tyvesager's Warn. Here you may contemplate and interpret your opaque cards. To unlock their power, requires gathering insight. Major Arcana will be displayed in the Athenaeum. When 5 have been acquired, one will be one will be selected at random. Before each encounter in Savathine's Spire. And the Altars of Summoning, adding a card to your deck will allow it to be randomly drawn. Each major arcana bestows unique benefits. Added or removed by adding them in the Athenaeum. You must have at least 5 to draw upon their power in Season of the Witch activities. Minor arcana can be found in activities or granted as rewards in ritual activities. When interpreted, they bestow perks, items, and upgrades. Seasonal bonus, keyed chests in the altars. Spire will contain additional whisper cards if available. New daily bounty, new card. Final blows have the chance to drop special ammo. Okay. Contemplate. Rapidly defeating combatants has a chance to regenerate health and shields. Toil and trouble. The cluttered hive ritual table is covered in various artifacts used in the study of their magic. That looks like her eyes. Scattered journals lay open across the table, pages weighed down by pieces of rock and bone. Sketches of hive runes, worms, moths, and intricate diagrams of unrecognizable magical objects. You recognize buried amongst the esoterica a drawing of the acolyte staff, along with the detailed spell that would bind its maker and wielder in the tithing ritual. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to light.gg, and then we're going to switch over for just a minute. Maybe? Could you please? There we go. Okay. So what we want to do is look at our new weapons aspects. Defeat a target with a melee attack, finisher, or sword to raise a banner of war that pulses with energy, periodically healing nearby allies and increasing melee and sword damage. Targets defeated by you and nearby allies charge the banner, increasing the speed of its pulses. That's actually kind of neat. I like the support aspect. No pun intended. I like that a lot. Weave walk. That's a warlock one, I think. Dodge while airborne to enter the weave, gaining damage resistance from combatants and players. Reactivate your air dodge or cast your rift to exit the weave. While in the weave, you generate perched threadlings over time. Destroying a tangle, weave a violent, writhing mass of strand fibers. The strand mass seeks out and damages targets, emitting unraveling projectiles when it defeats them. Tightly coiled whip, blah blah blah. Okay. New exotics. Obviously, we've got Dead Man. Let's take a look at Tessellation. It is a 660. This is an adaptive pulse rifle. This weapon adapts its damage type to match your equipped subclass. Final blows grenade energy. So this is sort of like Dead Messenger or what do you call it? Borealis or Hard Light, but it always matches, which means you could use it, you know, for stasis or strand or whatever, and have it be a fusion rifle. And it's got Demolitionist. Consume your grenade to load a projectile that creates an elemental explosion on impact. Okay. Sounds kind of interesting. Yep. No catalyst at this time. So that's fine. We got Dead Messenger. Let's take a look at Dead Man. Let's see what we can do for crafting it. Holy shit, that is a lot of catalyst perks. So this is probably just more stats, I assume? Okay, so we got Outlaw, fourth time. Those were the same. We had Killing Wind, Moving Target, Vorpal. Those were the same. But now we've got Compulsive Reloader, which feels kind of like it'll be whatever. Rapid Hit, which is an interesting choice. Shoot to Loot. Stability, handling speed. Fitted stock is a good choice. I think we'll go extended. And then something like that, maybe? There's so many options for what to do here. I kind of like Rapid Hit. Obviously, Vorpal is really good if you're in PvP and you're trying to take out people's supers. I don't know. And then it really does depend on what kind of buffs you're getting from all the cranial spike, not cranial spike, but the this thing, intrinsic passive, because usually those have stat increases. Dark Force trigger increases hit rate of fire. Yeah, okay, so not bad, not bad. Exdirus. I still don't really understand this. but it's like, okay. Drawing ammo from reserves is quite nice, though. We like that. Pyrokill gauntlets. Modifies Burning Mole into a single high damage slam of your hammer. It creates 5 cyclones of flame. Consecration second slam creates a cyclone of flame. Okay, that might be really cool. Mothkeeper's Wraps. Your grenade becomes a cage of loyal moths that release on impact and fly towards the nearest target or ally. If they reach a target, they detonate in a blinding explosion. And if they reach an ally, they give you a Void Overshield. Okay. Firebinds. Void Souls have a longer duration. They gain escalating damage and durability as they defeat targets. You can retrieve them by interacting with them. Okay, this will be really good then. Assuming that you're actually getting in there, you're playing with your Void Souls, your Void Buddies, doing stuff. So, okay, that's pretty good. Arbor Warden has, I assume this is an ornament? By Cenotaph Exteris. Weapon enrages faster while amplified. Final blows make you amplified. What was that enraged nonsense? It gains increased rate of fire when it's enraged. Okay. Tessellation does have a catalyst. We don't know what it does. Dead Messenger. Also craftable. Nope, go back. Okay, there we go. We got standard waveframe stuff. Fundamentals, you can swap between. Oh, and it actually has different stats based on which one you're in. That's kind of nice. Solar, giving you the reload speed, obviously very nice. Handling on arc, pretty good. Void seems kind of useless because you don't use aim assist or stability on a waveframe. Then we have Demolitionist, which sounds pretty cracked, as well as Unrelenting. Holy shit. Wow. Okay, that's pretty good. Certarachne still looks kind of goofy, but it's what it is. Caliban's Hand. That looks kind of dumb. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really get it. I don't really see the point. Cranial Spike. The gauntlets for Titan sound pretty interesting. Oh, it's Controverse Hold that these go on to. Okay. Well, that's not bad. I use Controverse Hold all the time. Deterministic Chaos, Navigator, Exterior's Final Warning, blah, blah, blah. So some of this stuff we already saw. This is just the exotic stuff that we got. So we're kind of going through it pretty quickly. Yeah. Okay. Crota's End Gear, not in here, obviously. New weapons. Let's see what we got. We've already covered. Horror Story has become a stasis auto rifle, 450. So this is the Halloween weapon. It now has a new origin trait, Nadir Focus. Sustained fire increases accuracy and range, increases lunge distance for swords, projectile velocity for launchers. Interesting. So 450, pretty okay stats, nothing super crazy. 450s are fine, whatever. Let's see, new perk. Doing damage improves reload speed and handling. Okay. That could be pretty good. Just off the top, that sounds pretty interesting with Frenzy, potentially. Although, maybe not, because Frenzy is going to max out your reload speed and handling, so kind of pointless. Reload speed and handling, though. I don't know. None of these really jump out at me as like, oh my god, I have to have that. You've obviously got Demo Junkie. It's pretty good. I do quite like Frenzy just as a perk for PvE weapons, which could go pretty nicely with something like Demolitionist. I still don't know how I feel about Discord. Headstone, always good. Target Lock, this doesn't seem to have any way to, outside of Envious Assassin, which is a weird choice, but it doesn't seem like it has a way to like overflow the magazine too much. So it just seems kind of, this is fine. It's okay, right? The Nox Perennial, not craftable. So this is just a world drop. Legendary Ingram and earn faction rank up packages. Interesting. So we've got High Impact, Strand Fusion. Okay. Wild card trait. Final blows with his weapon have a chance to create experimental submunitions at the target's location. Okay. Hatchling, Wellspring, Collective Action, Kickstart, Controlled Burst. Nox Perennial. That name is familiar. I don't remember why though. Okay. Elemental Capacitor, Controlled Burst, Under Pressure, Loose Change. Applying an elemental debuff to a target increases its reload speed. Okay. So obviously Fusion Rifle, you know, Under Pressure, always really good, although they've been nerfing it specifically for Fusion Rifles a lot lately, so it might not be the play. Lead from Gold, if we're looking strictly at PvE, Lead from Gold is a pretty good choice. Threat Detector could be decent. I think I would like Threat Detector better if it had Cornered, but it does not. As far as the second, Envious Assassin could also be interesting. Obviously with Controlled Burst. I'll be honest, the rest of this, the rest of this is not really jumping out at me too terribly much. Let's go back. But I don't remember what the deal with that one was. Kept Confidence. One way or another, I'll be there. Drifter, Season of the Witch. So this is a seasonal weapon, which means it is craftable. It's a 140 round per minute, so okay. Adaptive Strand Cannon. Okay range, pretty decent stability. It's kind of whatever for some of these other bits. The zoom obviously doesn't matter. Let's see, what are we maxing out at for range? Not quite 33 meters. Not bad. Not bad. So we've got Killing Wind. Air Assault seems still kind of mid. Shot Swap is decent. Loose Change. I don't know how good that's going to be on a weapon like this. Stats for all. Invisible Hand is kind of mid. Quick Draw is not bad though. Eye of the Storm. Good dueling perk. I'm not a huge fan of Pugilist. Like, it's okay, but it's definitely not Demolition is good. Multi-kill clip. This has some okay rolls. I would probably be looking at, like, Eye of the Storm with... I want to say either Killing Wind or maybe Quick Draw, because I do like Quick Draw quite a bit. Head Rush, Priest, handling and reload speed, yeah. It doesn't have a ton of amazing options, but it seems like it would be okay. The gun model is very last wordy. We'll see what we get. It's not something that I'm going to run out of my way to craft. Malediction. So this sounds like it's the ritual weapon for the season. An aggressive frame hand cannon. So it's a 120. Let's see what we get. I don't know if you can pick your masterwork or not. Enlightened action, reload and handling with explosive payload. It's an interesting series of options. If you can pick a masterwork, I would probably go stability here, but that's me. I do not like the look of this thing. It looks kind of ugly. It does have a similar model to Bottom Dollar, which I'm not an enormous fan of its model. It looks kind of crap. I can be honest. Let's take a look at Warden's Law. Let's see what we get for this bad boy. Warden's Law, the first of its kind. It's got okay range. Its other stats are pretty terrible. As far as stability, handling, and reload, these are quite low. 257 rounds per minute is interesting. Given that it fires 2 rounds, quote unquote, at the same time, it sounds like this is going to be kind of comparable to like a 120 or pre-nerf. What do you call it? Dead Man, where it was doing 130 when you were hip firing. So let's see. Its stats are really low. It would be really nice if it had ricochet rounds. Assuming we go absolutely maximum range, we're looking at 34 meters. And that was with plus 35 to the stat. So maximum range, you know, you're getting a little over 4 meters, which may not necessarily be worth it. Maybe something like that. Help bring up its stats a bit. Enlightened action, again, pretty good. Because that's giving you reload speed and handling specifically. That gives you just a smidge more reload. How many are in the mag? 16. That might be worth it, honestly. Shot swap, frenzy, kill clip, rampage, Zen moment. Zen moment is quite good. It'll be interesting to see what we get out of this. I would be interested in farming for this a bit to see if I can get kind of the rolls that I'm looking for. Maybe something in this neighborhood. What were you saying? Enlightened action. I don't know if I would want to go kill clip. We would have to see what its damage profile looks like. But the ability to not only masterwork it, but then give it something like, you know, adept stability to just give it more stability, or whatever. Like this has a lot of potential. So we will see. Nightshade, the classic, the GOAT, coming back, much like Nameless Midnight did not too long ago. This is a seasonal weapon, question mark. This one's probably from the Vanguard playlist, I would assume. Enlightened action, keep away, which sounds pretty good. 450, making it a lightweight, yeah. Encore, kill clip, head seeker. You got a bunch of really good options here for PvP and You don't have a ton for PvE, if I'm being perfectly honest. Collective action would be okay. It is a strand weapon now. So it's not going to play super well with anything outside of strand. So keep that in mind, I guess. Let's see. Psi Hermetic 5. Legendary Ingrams that earn faction rank up packages. This has the same model as No Time to Explain. Which let me head over to the thingy. Is there a thingy? Excuse me. There we go. That was weird. I had to pull out my ghost to get here. Okay, so let's see. I just want to look at what the guns are here. Okay, so none of these. So Head Rush is their perk. Okay. So I don't know where this is going to come from, the wild card. No idea. Let's see. High impact pulse rifle. This is going to have some stiff competition with Disparity. It's a different archetype, but they're both heavy hitting top slot pulse rifles, stasis. Headstone. The big difference being that Disparity is craftable as well. Let's see. Heating up. Moving target. We'll have to see just how good Enlightened Action is. As far as its increased reload speed and handling. To, you know, kind of make any calls. Encore, obviously, very good trait for PvE and PvP. Kill Clip, Headstone, Headseeker's pretty good. Golden Tricorn, Frenzy. Okay stats, it seems like. I'm not the biggest, like, oh my god, I have to compare them and see, okay, this is the third best of all of the, I don't care. I don't care. The Deer Focus. That's the second one that had the Deer Focus. I don't remember what it was for. Guiding Sight, 150 round per minute. Precision Instrument, dealing sustained damage, increases precision damage. Interesting. That's more of a PvE perk, because you're not going to be doing that in PvP. Unless it's on, like, a timer. And if it gives you the ability to, like, 2-tap, then that could be something. I'm not sure just how much you're going to be using most of the rest of these. Cascade Point could be really good to shift to TTK. Give that extra rate of fire, because it is like a 3-shot kill against Guardians, as it is. So, might be worth keeping an eye on. Tunnel Vision, obviously very good. Gut Shot, Demo, I don't know. We'll see, you know. We'll see. Was it you? No. Horror Story? Yes. So, to me that sounds like... But we already know that this is a, it's not a Halloween weapon, this is Iron Banner. But Horror Story is always the other. It's, Halloween. I don't know. We got a bunch of weapons here, though. Locus Locutus, a sniper rifle. This is seasonal, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it definitely is. What we got? Adaptive. We like adaptives. Keep Away. Very interesting Keep Away, which has Range and accuracy when enemies are far away. Could be real neat. Surplus, good choice. For something like this, if you're looking for like a PvP role, you go something in the neighborhood of something like that. Head rush. Kill clip headstone high ground. Gain bonus damage when attacking targets from higher ground. Box breathing, firing line, opening shot. Like, this has some really nice potential for both PvP and PvE. I would keep an eye on this. This seems potentially pretty nasty. Showrunner, SMG. Another Vanguard looking weapon with Nadir focus. What do we got? Kinetic, 900 round per minute. Lightweight, we like those. Collective action, swashbuckler, target lock, air assault. Kinetic tremors could be an interesting choice. Overflow. Like, this seems okay. Nothing really jumping out at me here. It just seems like, oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Unending Tempest. Obviously a crucible weapon, which you can see on the side of this. Precision frame, SMG. 600. So this is the same archetype as like your Shira's Wrath. It's got a whole lot of perks too. Tap the trigger, target lock, rangefinder, still probably going to be really good. Its reload speed is really, really bad, so maybe not multi-kill clip. Frenzy seems like a good choice to deal with that for PvE. Headstone, I didn't realize this was stasis. Collective action, cascade point on something like this. Jesus. Adrenaline Junkie, it also has Demolitionist, so could be good. Tap the trigger with dynamic sway reduction, enlightened action, gut shot, killing wind. Subsistence with Frenzy, always a good choice if you're looking for a good PvE weapon. Which, I don't think I have a good stasis SMG. Like the craftable one from Plunder was kind of shit. If I'm being perfectly honest with you, I did not like it. I did not like the one from Season of the Deep. And I wasn't a huge fan of the Vanguard one. Selective action, or whatever the crap it was called. So this might be the way that I go, because Subsistence with Frenzy was like the play. Back in ye Elden days of the Witch Queen, where we started getting stuff like Funnel Web. I couldn't think of its name for a second there. So I'd be looking at something like perhaps that. But if you want max, like, hey, this is an SMG. Oh wow, it's got really high base stability. Okay. Like, you can push that way out. Almost 23 meters. Yeah, you can add like a little over 4 meters to this in terms of your range. So we got some really nice options here. Something like that, maybe this. So I think that that's going to be one to keep an eye on. Unending Tempest, the new Crucible weapon. Point of the Stag, they brought it back. You can now get it from playing Iron Banner. Did we get anything cool on this? Obviously, you're going to want something like Polymer with either draw time or reload speed. Fiberglass is the play. And don't want elastic. There we go. Yeah. So we've got Archer's Tempo. This one does not have successful warm-up. So you're going to have to make some interesting choices here. I think Archer's Tempo is probably the best choice. If you're looking for something for PvP, no distractions could be pretty good. Other than that, what do we... Arc. Precision Instrument. Maybe something like that. I don't know, we'll see. What else we got? So this is our other adept weapon, Pre-Astyanax. Pre-Astyanax 4. I don't know. What do we got? Precision Frame, we like that. Solar. We got the Incandescent. Alright. We got successful warm-up. We got Archer's Tempo. Incandescent. This one's the one that has the good perks. Holy shit. You've got Archer's Tempo, you've got Shoot to Loot, Enlightened Action, which could be, again, depending on how Enlightened Action works, it could be really, really strong. Because with bows, the thing that improves or decreases, I should say, the amount of time, the duration between shots, is both your draw time, but also your reload speed. So being able to double and triple down on stuff like that, potentially real interesting. Something like one of these two. I think if you have both of these, you're probably going to want to go reload speed. And then you go polymer, fiberglass. Some people like elastic to get it as low as possible, but there is a floor. So once you hit this, you're going to hit that floor, most likely. So we'll see. This is an adept weapon as well. So you're going to be able to do adept mods. Oh, it's going to be good. The Eremite. High impact. Solar. Heal clip. Reloading after dealing final blow grants cure to you and your nearby allies. I like that. Lead from gold. Envious assassin. Slick draw. Offhand strike, which is very funny in PvP. Cornered. High ground. Controlled burst. Reservoir burst. I wonder what those do for the enhanced versions. Improves stability. Improved duration. Increases reload. Increase stability? Oh, okay, I get it. And then this one, you have additional time to perform the reload. Okay, that's kind of weird. This one could be very interesting. Obviously more of a PvE weapon, although it does have a play for PvP, like if you're in trials or something like that, you know, pick somebody off, you know, the cure can definitely come in clutch. It can use hammer, classic. I don't remember all of its old perks, I'm going to be honest with you. Encore being here is quite nice. Rapid hit. I noticed no quick draw or snapshot to get over the handling. Keep away is quite nice. The one that I have that I use sometimes is rapid hit with rampage. I wonder what sustained means in this particular case. So we will see. Eye of the Storm is quite nice. Frenzy, Golden Tricorn, Incandescent. So it's got a little more PvP, or excuse me, PvE utility. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Jurassic Green. Jesus Christ, they keep bringing this gun back, and they just won't let it die. This gun sucks, I'm going to be honest with you. Nothing on here makes me want to use this. Moving on. Bria's Love. A precision frame. So 180 Void Scout. Craftable. No distractions. Destabilizing rounds. Okay. Adagio. Frenzy. Explosive payload. Keep away. Being able to destabilizing rounds things and then get the reload speed from loose change is an interesting combination. This has some interesting perks. Rapid hit with something like Adagio or destabilize. Rapid hit is a really good perk. I like rapid hit a lot. Shoot to loot. Explosive payload. Still going to be quite nice, especially since they've made it so that explosive payload will now be able to affect orbs and ammo and things like that as well. Loose change. Keep away. Very interesting. This could be interesting. It is a 180 Scout, so a lot of people probably aren't going to like it that much, but we'll see. Deadpan Delivery. Energy Shotgun. Another Vanguard weapon. Slick Draw, Air Assault, Surplus. Aggressive frame, too. Surplus, Overflow, Discord, I'm on the Capacitor. Barrel Constrictor. Final blows with his weapon. Reduce the projectile spread of its next shot for a short duration. 1-2 punch. Trench Barrel. I don't have... This could be interesting. I don't know. We'll see. Heliocentric QSC. Sidearm. That's a 360. A lightweight. Okay. Let's see what we got. Yeah, Kill Clip. Incandescent. Kill Clip sounds interesting. Incandescent. Heal Clip, though. Not gonna lie. Something like Heal Clip with Frenzy. Shoot something, really quickly reload, get healed. You've always got the damage up. Like, this could be an interesting combination. Demolitionist, Rangefinder. I don't know. I do enjoy my sidearms, but we'll have to see. We will really have to see what this can do. 16.26 meters on full rate. Holy shit! Really? Full range only adds a little over a meter. Jesus. Do something like that. Get you some stats. We don't get that many sidearms anymore, which makes me sad. As a matter of fact, it's the only sidearm this entire season. Sad face. Luna Regolith 3. Strikes. This is a Vanguard weapon. They're getting a bunch of those this season. What do we have? Aggressive frame. I like this model for the weapons. I like that a lot. Opening shot. Snapshot. Yo. Aim assist is not that good, though. Stab opening. We got box breathing. Firing line. Eye of the Storm. Precision instrument is an interesting idea for a weapon like this, because you have the ability to potentially get a bunch of damage out of it. But it's really going to depend on whether it's more than what you would get from firing line or not. how many shots does it take, what's the damage increase, etc. Cascade point. We do like clown cartridge, keep away, field prep, always good. Surplus, but again, if you're looking for PvE or PvP, excuse me, can never go wrong with the snap opening, like literally ever. Or snap moving target. These are always going to be good choices. Macabre coming back. Let's go. Eddy Current sucks. Snapshot opening is insane on this gun. This is such a strong sniper. This is so good. Holy shit. Like, none of these seem like... The roll that they originally give you is snapshot opening shot. It's like perfect. So there's really not any need to get a different one. I still have 2 others. I think the other ones I have are snap, moving target, and one of them is like swashbuckler or something. Because if you get a stack of swashbuckler, like you get a melee kill, you can one-shot body people, which is quite nice. Another Vanguard weapon. I'm not sure where we're getting these. There has to be some kind of source on this. Sniper rifle rapid fire, which means you don't need snapshot in the first place. All you need is something like that. You got plenty of options here. We got rapid hit, keep away, very nice on these. Repulsor brace, surplus, triple tap. Go opening shot, you know, whatever. Pretty good aim assistance. 35 zoom. We'll see. A cosmic GSP. Grenade launcher. Rapid fire. Void. I'm not the biggest grenade launcher person. Like, I don't know that much as far as, you know, using them, and I'm not a grenade launcher like dude. Repulsor, cascade. These 3 seem like they could be interesting. Maybe destabilizing rounds. Other than that, maybe field prep, clown cartridge. I got nothing. I'm not grenade launcher guy. Cataphract. This is the Trials grenade launcher. I might try and pick this up just so I can have one, because the existing strain grenade launcher, Caraxus's Distress, I did not like that much. This one has bait and switch, which is quite interesting. Full court, Vorpal, chain reaction, cascade point, explosive light. Like, it's got some legs. It definitely has legs. Explosive damage. I don't know, we'll see. Envious Assassin, field prep, auto loading. Yeah, this has some potential. Eliatic Principle, machine gun, arc, rapid fire. We got the target lock. Do we have a way to automatically reload it somehow? No. I do not like eddy current. More rounded offhand strike, moving target, ensemble zen moment. Yikes. Golden tricorn, adapted munitions, adrenaline junkie, harmony, tap the trigger, rangefinder. This does not have any super obvious uses to me. Like when you were looking at goodness gracious, what was it called? The Void rapid fire from Season of the Seraph. Totally different, because you had target lock, but you also had 4 times the charm, which paired together really nicely. None of these are super duper jumping out at me. You know what? I'm not even gonna try. High impact void. Surplus, triple tap. Triple tap's an interesting choice. Triple tap firing line. Clown cartridge, field prep, target lock. There it is. There it is. So, pretty good option. Pretty good damn option. So, it looks like we'll be playing a fair amount of Gambit. We've got surplus, we've got triple tap. Obviously, triple tap with target lock or firing line is going to be the play. Frenzy, maybe, but probably not. Yeah. I could see maybe field prep and frenzy. So you get the faster reload, as well as stow and ready speed, maxed out handling. But you also have higher ammo reserves to go with your extra damage. I could maybe see that, or clown cartridge and frenzy. But realistically, you want target lock and you want triple tap. Period. End of story. Something like that. Maybe that. Or let me see. What's your magazine size? 44. What would you get for? Oh, it doesn't have tac mag. So you'd have to go appended, and you would get 52. Yeah, something like that. That has a lot of potential. Especially if you get like a reload mast. Tell you what. I'm just saying. Semi-otician. This is in the thing, so yeah, craftable. Strand, rocket launcher, impulse amplifier, shot swap, keep away. Field prep, obviously very good. Frenzy, pretty good. Bipod, I don't know about that one, man. Decreases damage by 40%. I think they said that they were lowering that to like 25 or 30 or something like that. I don't know, man. That just doesn't seem worth it. You should go field prep and explosive light, and you're in there. Like, you get even more damage, or you go frenzy. And then we've got geodetic HSM. Geodetic. Adaptive, void, destabilizing. Like, there's nothing in here that's going to dethrone your existing falling guillotine. Although repulsor brace with destabilizing rounds could be interesting. But it looks like, I think that's all we've got. Weapons. We've already seen the new trial stuff. Yeah, I think that's it. I always look for new shaders, because I'm kind of a whore for shaders. Gallimorph. Okay. Cirrus Whisper, Clinging Cobweb, Coleoptera, Dragon's Teeth, Gamekeeper, Highlander, Luminous Void, which we've already seen. Night Vision. Magical Transformation. Ossified Carving looks interesting. Sanguine Splash. Biosphere Explorer Gloves. I wonder what that's all about. It's a lot of bones, dog. It's a lot of bones. That kind of looks shitty. That does too, and so does that. New emblems. That's actually pretty cool. That's not bad. Not bad. I kind of like that. Yo, that's pretty sick. Because you know that's from Crota. It has to be. Iron Banner, I like that quite a bit. That's pretty good. That's clearly going to be the, like, Ascendant one. We got some good stuff. We've got some good stuff. On that note, I am actually going to take a break. I've been going for, I don't even know how long. Almost 4 hours. Holy shit. I'm going to get some food, and I'm going to play some Destiny. Thank you for watching. Please remember, as always, hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. We stream a couple times every week, playing different things. You know, sometimes it's Chrono Cross, or right now we're doing Yakuza Kiwami. We stream Genshin. We stream Honkai Star Rail. We're going to be doing Baldur's Gate. It sounds like there's potential for us to stream some Armored Core. We've done Elden Ring, you know, just tune in, you know. But again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.